Hold on. Go out.
Hey, welcome to the Black Sprinter podcast with my co-host Andy Rodriguez. Hey, how you doing, Andy?
How's it going now?
I'm doing good, man.
Show. Excited for tonight's show.
Yeah, listen, man. I'm going to get this out of the way now. So why ride the coattails of one fucking great podcast when I can ride coattails of two great podcasts?
Yeah, that's right.
Man, we got Mr. Ralph Viera from the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast, Almost Human channel. He's Dr. Fuck, Mr. YouTube Sensation. How you doing, Ralph?
Pretty good, man. I'm glad to be here.
Cool, man. I'm humbled, bro.
Can I just do a little plug real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah.
I was so blown away because I get donations on my channel that somebody donated for me to put Kiss Revenge against this. And it's a band called Baby Jane. The name of the album is called Make It Sick. And it came out in like 2010 or 12, like a long time ago. This album smokes, and the very first track on here is John Corabi on vocals, and it's a smoking track called Make It Sick, the title track. Just a plug. Somebody, I heard this when I did the track by track, and I went on Amazon and bought it right away because it's awesome.
What's the name of them?
The name of the band is called Baby Jane.
That one word or two?
Two.
Okay.
And the name of the album is Make It Sick, and it's amazing.
So since you said John Corabi is on the lead track, are there different vocalists for each track?
Yeah, no. It's all one vocalist except John Corabi does the first track.
Oh, okay.
All right, that's cool. I never knew about that. When I'm hanging out with guys like you, I always got to have a pen and paper handy because you never know who you guys are going to rattle off. And I'll be like, oh, shit, I need to check that out.
And the guy that sings on this album, the rest of the album, he kind of sounds like Corabi a little bit.
Cool, man.
I checked it out after you posted about it, and I was pretty impressed with it.
Yeah, I did see you posted, yeah.
Great hard rock.
I got to check that out.
And from the Decibel Geek podcast, of course, we got Mr. Chris Czynszak, Mr. Aaron Camaro. Thank you guys for coming on. I'm glad both of you were able to come on. I appreciate it very much. Me and Andy do.
Awesome. Well,
I appreciate it too.
Stoked to talk about Kiss because there's not near enough of that on the internet these days.
And before we get started, I kind of feel like I got to give you a disclaimer. Aaron Camaro is actually upstairs making sweet, sweet, passionate love to his wife. I'm an avatar.
So beat me to it, man.
Well, at least it looks like you.
Yeah, right. Top of the art, man.
Well, yeah, I came up with this idea because, it was their quote unquote last shows. You will see how long that lasts. But I figured it'd be kind of a cool idea to rank the final tracks on each of their studio albums. No solo albums, just their studio albums, which just comes to 20 albums. So it's 20 songs. And I just thought it'd be kind of a cool little idea, man. And you guys, you and Ralph, man, I mean, you guys were the early guys I ever saw, podcasts of and kind of inspired me to want to do this. So thank you guys. I'm humbled that you guys are on, man. So,
well, thank you there, Al. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. So all right, so before we get started, man, I want to go around the horn. Oh, and I want to say happy birthday, Andy. His birthday was yesterday.
Right on, Andy. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty easy just to keep living for this long, so thank you.
And I want to say happy birthday to Randy Rhodes today too, because he's one of my favorite guitar players.
Oh yeah,
I love Randy. He's one of the guys that inspire me to pick up a guitar and try and play and try to learn and stuff like that. So, and then rest in peace to Denny Lane of Wings and Moody Blues.
Yeah.
And Miles Goodwin of April Wine. I love April Wine.
Yeah.
I used to work at a pizzeria where the owner was actually from Canada, and he kind of introduced me to a lot of Canadian bands. I mean, I already knew about Rush and Triumph, but he introduced me to April Wine and Max Webster, shit like that from Canada. Saga. So I kind of knew Saga from MTV the early days, but so he used to play that stuff in the pizzeria, which was cool. He's one of the coolest bosses. So he used to play some great rock and roll and stuff. So, and he was an Elvis impersonator. he did that on the side as a side job, which is which is fun. So he played a lot of Elvis too, so which was fine with me. Okay, I want to go around the horn here and just ask you guys, like, and we could start with, we'll go with Chris, Aaron, Ralph, Andy, and then myself. We'll I want to ask you guys, when you first discovered Kiss, doesn't have to be long-winded, you could just, whatever. And then the first time you ever saw Kiss live and the last time you saw Kiss live. So Chris, go ahead, man.
Knew about them through a lot of childhood. They'd pop up, toys and stuff like that from my brother and stuff like that. But I mean, really got into them when Crazy Nights was out, 87. First concert was Hot in the Shade tour in 1990, and last tour was the not Sonic Boom, was this tour, but it was 4 years ago in Nashville.
Cool.
I was there.
Yeah, we both went.
Man, when I was a little bitty kid, I'm talking real little, I used to sit and listen to my mom and dad's records. I'd sit with the headphones on in front of their turntable. I mean, as a child of the 70s and early 80s, there wasn't all the distractions that there are today. There was TV that you had to tune into on a certain time if you wanted to see a certain thing. And if you missed it, it was gone. And the simple thing is sitting in front of a record player with the headphones on and just listening to my dad's Sabbath and Zeppelin and stuff like that. And then my Aunt Pam, who was my mom's youngest sister, and my Uncle Bruce, who was my dad's youngest brother, they had Kiss records. And I'll never forget, like, it was double platinum that my Aunt Pam had. And I would just listen to all different records all the time. Whatever anybody had, I would sit and listen to. And I put on double platinum and I was just like, whoa, it hit me in some kind of crazy way. And I didn't really understand what it was because, it wasn't like a real picture of the band. It was the embossed thing on the inside of the LP. And then was Kiss crazy from being a little tiny kid. My parents, nobody saw a problem with me listening to bands like this. And so when I'm 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, I'm asking for Kiss records for Christmas. I've got the Kiss guitar, I'm the kid that Fraley and them guys hated. I was the little kid who loved Kiss. First time I got to see them, I grew up in a small town in the middle of Wisconsin called Merrill. And to get to any kind of real concert, I mean, you had to travel a long ways to get to either the Twin Cities or Madison or Milwaukee or maybe even Green Bay. And so when I was young, I didn't get to go to any cool concerts. But when I turned about, I want to say I was about 16, 17, Kiss was playing on the Revenge tour in Madison. And the year before, a couple years before that, my cousin Rhonda went to see him on the Hot in the Shade tour. And I begged my parents to let me go with her. And my cousin Rhonda was going to take me. And they wouldn't let me go. They said, you're not old enough. And then when they came back around on Revenge, my friends, the Dinges brothers, were all going. And I said, please let me go. And they let me go to that one. So my first concert was in Madison, Wisconsin, the Revenge tour. The most recent one I seen was with Chris. We weren't going to go. It was the second to the last farewell to Nashville show because they just had the second goodbye to Nashville. Probably more than that if you go back in time. But we went to the second to the last farewell to Nashville show. We weren't going to go. I think we ended up with such inexpensive seats that we said, fuck it, let's go. We're going to see a bunch of our friends. So Chris and I went down there together, sat all the way at the top, watched the painter, said, this is fucking boring. Let's go walk around. We run into our friend Buddy Baker, and he says, where are you guys sitting? We said, way the fuck up there. And he said, man, I've got box seats. Why don't you guys come sit with me? And we were like, well, fuck yeah, we will. So then we went with him, and then we were right on the stage. And man, it's a weird thing because I was like, this is probably the last time I'm ever going to see Kiss. And it sucks because, you got the other guys out there dressed as Ace and Peter, and that's not cool. But for what it was and the stage show and just the spectacle of it was really cool. But the set list sucked, and what's going on with the backing tracks and stuff. So it took a lot away from it, but it was still pretty cool. And then they announced they were coming back to Nashville again to say goodbye one more time.
Yeah.
I didn't go to that. None of us went to that shit.
You ever notice how You ever notice how at the beginning of the tour when Paul Stanley was like, "You better see us when we go through your town, or else it's never gonna happen again." Yeah, like 2-3 times later, it fucking came through the city.
Sad.
Kiss marketing 101.
Yeah.
And they sure do
Yeah,
know
I turned down $300 tickets for the last one.
Yeah, me too.
All right, Ralph, go ahead, brother.
I discovered Kiss. My friend Dale Hicks, who I'm still friends with on Facebook. He moved away. Played me Rock and Roll Over, and I heard I Want You, and I was like, oh my God. It really changed my life because I ran out to buy Rock and Roll Over, and I couldn't find it, but I found double platinum that had I Want You. So that was my first Kiss album, double platinum. And I don't know if any of you ever done that, but when you open the album, did you ever trace the face
Oh yeah,
on a paper to see what they look like without makeup?
a few times.
You do,
They all-
you do
they
the,
all-
end of the pencil with the shading.
yeah.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
In the end, they all look like the Ramones on the paper.
Yeah.
It didn't really work. But and the first time I saw him was Creatures of the Night. I got to tell my Love Gun story because it's really sad, but it's funny if you're not me. It's hysterical if you're not me. For me, it was sad. Love Gun tour. My brother was going. I begged him, please take me, please. He said no. My parents said no. And I got very depressed when he left, and I went in my room to listen to my Kiss Alive 8-track. He took it with him.
Oh,
Insult to injury.
damn.
Why was that sad? So then when Dynasty came, my brother was in the Army, but I had a few friends that were going to the Dynasty show. But my parents, nope, you can't go. So I missed that. Finally, when I was of age, Creatures of the Night came. And I was excited. I'm going to the show. And on the way to the show, on the radio, they announced Ace Frehley was not going to be there because of a car accident, whatever. And I was so pissed because Ace is my guy. Ace is my favorite member of Kiss. And I'm pissed, man. What? No Ace? This sucks.
Yeah.
And I left that show mesmerized by Vinnie Vincent. I know Aaron and Czynszak, they're like the Vinnie Vincent invasion. That's cool that you all do. I'm not putting you down, but I'm telling you, that night, he just saved the show. He was so fucking amazing.
Oh yeah.
With Kiss on that Creatures. And look it up. Not as good, but still good. But man, that Creature show blew my mind. I never missed Kiss every time they came down here after that. And then the last time I saw him was the Monster Tour. And that I went to free. I love the Monster album. I'm not a fan of Scab Kiss. I hate it. But, I had a free ticket and I went. And it was horrendous. This was before Paul was using tapes.
Yeah.
It was pure Paul.
Yeah.
And I have a video of it before during Heaven's on Fire. Because back then he would go, whoa, whoa. Like, really?
Oh my God.
And the guy sitting next to me, I was filming. The guy sitting next to me, he's like, don't do it, Paul. And I left the show going, that's it. That's it. I'm not seeing Kiss no more. That was terrible. And then End of the Road came, and I got offered ticket not only once, but just like Nashville, they came back. and I got offered a ticket again. And I just didn't go. I didn't want to see it. I wish I didn't go to that Monster show. I wish I could have been like my last show was the farewell show. I wish that would have been my last show. I didn't enjoy the Scab shit. I just not my thing. Not my Kiss. Even though I love Monster. I don't like Sonic Boom, but I love Monster. And I can't lie. I'll be honest with you. First time I listened to Monster, I was like, damn it. I like this, and I was pissed that I liked it. But I thought it was a great album, and I still do think it's a great album.
For the most part, it is good.
Yeah. So there you go. That's my.
Cool.
Is that it? Is that my whole Kiss story? I think it is, right?
Yeah, you mentioned how you got into them, your first show and your last show.
Yeah.
So
There you go. Yeah.
Andy, my brother, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I didn't get into Kiss until 2015. I was very late. I would dismiss them over and over. I didn't want to hear their music, so I dismissed it. We were on vacation in Los Angeles, and I went to the record store. I guess it's pronounced Amoeba or
Amoeba?
Amoeba, and it's over there on the Sunset Strip.
Oh.
Yep.
And I went, and it was getting late. And every time I go out of town, that's my souvenir is an album. So it was getting late; they're about to close, and then Kiss Alive was sitting there. I said, "Well, let me just go ahead and get this, just so that I can have something from here." Well, when I brought it home, it blew me away. I thought it was fantastic, and I finally got to see them in 2021 when they played at Rockville in Daytona, Florida. I was able to see them there. It was horrible. It really was. But I was there to actually see Gene and Paul, which was, pretty cool for me. So that's when I got into them. Really was 2015, and it's been some pretty good nine years of listening to them. I now have amassed almost everything. I'm missing like 4 of their albums right now, so I'm doing okay with them. And since then I've become a fan.
It's gonna be interesting to hear your rankings.
Yeah.
seeing as when you came in.
Yeah, because it's going to be totally different since you're a newer.
Yeah.
It's all timing. It's all when you came in and stuff, man. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, Andy's favorite's going to be the last song off of Sonic Boom.
Oh man, imagine that. I don't know, man. Take bets on that shit. No, the first time I saw them was Asylum tour, Madison Square Garden, December 16th, which is shit's coming up soon. The anniversary of it, 1985. Ironically, Black and Blue opened up with Tommy Thayer, opened up for them. So Black and Blue is the first fucking band I ever saw live in concert. So,
Oh wow, really?
Danger was mine.
the irony of that. Oh, who was it?
Danger.
Oh wow.
Trickster here.
Yeah.
Mine
I
was
love Black and Blue, man. I love that band.
Yeah.
Who opened up for yours, Ralph, on the Creatures? Was it Night Ranger?
No, it was the Plasmatics.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
And I became a huge fan because after I saw that show, I ran out and bought Coup d'Etat. And to this day, Coup d'Etat is like a top 10 favorite album of mine. So, yeah, I was lucky enough to see Wendy O at least once.
Cool, man. That's awesome. Yeah, so it was the Asylum tour, Massacre Garden 85. My older brother and my couple cousins, actually, it was like 3 cousins. They were all, my brother wasn't, I grew up on my brother's record collection, and he wasn't a huge Kiss fan. He didn't really have Kiss in his collection. He was all about Zeppelin and the Doors. That was his bands, So as a kid, as a real small kid growing up, going into his room, and he'd come home with a new Zeppelin album, and he'd have the ritual, open up the album, put it on the turntable, look at the liner notes, the all that stuff, the artwork. So that really, Zeppelin was really like the first fucking band, and I love the Doors too. So then, but into the 80s, we were hanging out with my cousins, and my cousin Cipriano, he was one of the hugest Kiss fans. I mean, he was like all about Kiss, man, everything. He even had a long tongue like fucking Gene and shit. So he got us tickets, and we went, and I remember we got pretty good seats. We were actually kind of side stage on Gene's side. So I remember during the show, fucking my cousin, he somehow got Gene's attention, and he flashed his tongue, man, and Gene looked at him, and then Gene started doing the tongue back to him and shit. It was funny as hell, bro. That's one of the memories I have of that show. So it was a cool show. I remember they played "Won't Get Fooled" again on that tour and stuff like that. So it was cool. It was the hugest Kiss sign I've ever seen them have. I think it's said that the Asylum tour had the biggest Kiss logo.
Yeah,
out of all of them, man, So I remember it being fucking humongous, And then
we got Wasp on our show.
Oh, okay. How I got into Kiss, actually, I missed that. When I was young, it was a neighbor of mine that was one of my best friends. He lived across, right around the block from me. I remember going to his house one time. He's like, "Hey, check this out," and he had Destroyer, and I remember looking at the album cover, man. I was like, "Whoa, what's this, man?" put it on a turntable, and Detroit Rock City comes on, and I was like, wow, dude, that's really cool. But I was like really young. He was like 4 years older than me, so I was like really young. So it kind of didn't. It sounded cool and everything, but I didn't go out and like go look for. I wasn't buying albums yet or anything at that time. I was still, kind of young, but it just didn't register with me to go, oh, let me go and get that. It wasn't until like later on, and then when I was buying albums, I kind of I wasn't into Kiss then for a while, and then my older brother, then he had on cassette, he had Animalize and Asylum. He had the 2 cassettes. So I was like, I checked them out. And then my dad had an apartment building, and some guy that lived there, he abandoned the apartment building. One day he left. He never came back. Like for 3 months, my dad was like looking for him, trying to get the rent and shit. So finally, my dad was like, I got to go into this guy's apartment. I got to see what's going on. Went in, and the guy totally left everything behind. To this day, we don't even know what happened. If he got died or like just ran from the law or whatever. He left everything behind, and including like a vinyl collection, stereo equipment, all that shit. And I remember he had the Elder on vinyl in there, So I remember by that time I was into Rush, Pink Floyd, stuff like that. So I remember I put Elder on, and I guess I liked the concept or whatever, and I really got into that album. So that's like actually one of my favorite Kiss albums. I love that album, man. I'm not a, whatever, man, So
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah. Well, it's a very divisive album. But anyway, so I started getting into Kiss, like seeing the videos on MTV, and kind of like the non-makeup was really when I started getting into them, like buying their shit and stuff. And then I went back, and obviously, man, I loved Ace and all that stuff. And being a guitar player, he was like one of the most stylish guitar players, bro. I was like, this guy, his leads are awesome, his songs, So he ended up being like my favorite Kiss member. So the last time I saw Kiss was, I guess it was 2019. It was before the pandemic. I saw them. Actually, I had free tickets to see them 3 times on this last tour. So the first time was at Madison Square Garden. So I wanted to take my daughter. I wanted her to go experience the show. So it was me and her that went. At the time, I mean, she was 11 years old. So
wait a second.
Yeah.
End of the Road was at Madison Square Garden early on too.
Yes. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's why I'm saying Paul was like, hey, we better see us in your town because we're not coming back.
Yeah. And not only they come back and end the tour there. It's like,
exactly.
I feel even more ripped off. I went to go see Kiss at Madison Square Garden only for them to end the tour. If I would have known that, I would have never went to see them the first time. You know what I'm saying?
Save your money for the second tickets.
And it'd be super cheap because I don't know if you heard that neither show was sold out. Mm-hmm. And the very last show, they were practically giving away tickets.
Oh wow!
There was somebody that I knew that they went, I don't know, 2-3 hours before the show. They just went right to the box office, and they got a seat. They got a lower bowl seat, like not a really good seat, for like $100, dude.
Yeah. Okay. Originally, they were going for like what, 1,100?
Yeah, exactly. So the last time I saw Kiss on this tour, so I saw them at the Garden. I took my daughter. Then I got a couple free tickets to see my Prudential Center in New Jersey. So I took my wife and my daughter, and then my friend of mine had free tickets too. So it was at Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, New York. I think they were all in like 2019. It was before the pandemic. And then that was it. So that, everybody these last shows, they were posting up, and I wasn't like jealous at all, dude. I was just like, it's the same show. Well, I mean, I was like, I don't care, dude. I saw them at the Garden. So it doesn't matter. And honestly, I haven't paid for a Kiss concert since Psycho Circus tour. That was the last time I paid for a ticket. I missed them on the real Farewell tour. I was away on vacation. A friend of mine called me up, and he offered me a ticket, and I couldn't go. I was away. So I missed that tour. But, I saw him a couple of times with the Scab lineup, but I never paid for it. It was always comp tickets or whatever. So, but anyway, that's my story. So, and my daughter is like really getting into them. She loves them, and that's cool, man. I'm glad she is, man. So, anyway,
seriously, Al, you should You should not let her become a Kiss fan, man.
Well, you know what? She came to me. She came to me yesterday. She was like, because we watched that Ralph. We watched that pay-per-view for free because of that guy that offered the link.
Nice dude.
Yeah,
put it on the podcast page.
Yeah, real cool dude, man. And so me and her, we watched the pay-per-view, and then like afterwards, like yesterday, she came up to me. She was like, Tommy and Eric are really good, but they're not like the original guys. Yeah, Peter, Chris, and Ace Frehley. And I'm like, yes, this is good parenting, man. You know what I mean?
As I recall, Chris Czynszak there, when he did the little review of the End of the Road thing, and he made so much sense. He said, they sound too perfect, right? Isn't that what you said? Kind of remember you saying something like that.
Or it's kind of sterile, Yeah,
it didn't have that adventurous sloppiness.
Yeah, Ace
had. Because watching Kiss, original member, it was kind of dangerous. It was like kind of like a train off the rails. Where with Eric and Tommy, it's sterile. It's so precise and. It doesn't have that magic that original Kiss had.
Everything's so scripted now, man. It's just so,
you can't have any magic when you're playing to a click like that either.
Exactly.
You're stuck in that
spontaneity.
Click. Yeah.
You can't be spontaneous, man. All right, man. So we're gonna get to the list here. I broke it down, man. Like so, it's 20 songs, 20 studio albums. I broke it down into. Who sang? So 6 of the songs Paul sings lead, 8 of the songs Gene sings lead. There's 1 Peter song, 1 Ace song, 1 Bruce song, and then there's a Paul and Peter, co-vocal, co-lead, and then Paul and Gene co-lead. So that's the way it breaks down on these last tracks. So without further ado, Mr. Czynszak, we'll start with your number 20. And we'll go around the room. And
before we start, I just want to say I'm willing to bet that everybody's going to be unanimous on the number 1, and everyone's going to be unanimous on the number 20. I'm calling it right now.
All right, we'll see, man.
All right.
Aaron already knows what my number 20 is, I'm sure. I think it's one of the most embarrassing songs in the catalog. It's "Murder in High Heels."
Oh.
Yeah, Aaron, no, it's not going to be everybody's going to say.
No, it's not going to be everybody's.
No.
Mine's different, but I got to tell you, what Chris picked, woo, that's a doozy.
Oh, it's fucking awful.
It's a bad one.
Known that it would have been Chris Czynszak to fuck up my theory right off. Of course.
Done.
You should know your co-host better, man.
I'll work on my mind reading skills there.
There's only 2 songs I put under Murder in High Heels now that I look at my list.
Yeah, with me, I mean, I thought everybody was going to pick this as the number 1 worst song. It's got to be, and then She Kissed Me. It's so lame. It's
actually, Aaron, and yes, I do understand the lameness of it, but I absolutely love that song, man. And I admit it, man. I love shit that sucks, and that's one of them. I love that shit. Song rules.
Listen, Chris Czynszak's one of his favorite albums is Crazy Nights. So.
Yeah. I can't believe he goes around saying that.
I can't help it if y'all can't appreciate a good album.
That's probably going to be his number 1 too.
That's comedy, Chris.
All right, so what was that one, Aaron?
Then She Kissed Me.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
Lame. One of the worst things Kiss ever did, I think.
I will say that's the worst song out of the 70s albums, but I digress.
That song made my top 10.
No, it didn't make my top 10, but it wasn't far off.
It made my top 10.
All right, Ralph, go ahead, brother.
The weirdo.
All right, to me, the worst song, and this is like one of the worst Kiss songs, period. I'd probably put it at 3 or 4 of the worst Kiss songs ever. Gene Simmons, Unmasked, You're All That I Want.
Wow.
Oh, I hate that damn song.
Wow.
That would be my number 20.
Okay.
All the way at the bottom.
So far, everybody's different, man. Go ahead, Andy.
Well, I thought everyone was going to have this one, and it's off my favorite Kiss album, Destroyer, Rock and Roll Party. Why couldn't they actually?
Well, no. No. Listen.
I was going to ask about this.
You know, I should have mentioned this. And it's not really the I mean, it's like a little ending there, but
Last
really,
track.
but really the final song on there is
Do You Love
Me?
Yeah, that's how I count. I didn't count rock and roll.
Yeah. I should have kind of did that, but
I guess the newbie already got it wrong.
all right. Well, listen, you have that. So what's your? I don't know. You don't have I guess you don't have Do You Love Me on there, right? You don't have the song Do You Love Me?
No, I don't have Do You
Okay.
Love Me on
All
there.
right.
Well,
Come back around. You got some math to do. And start adding it up.
No, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that.
All right, just leave it there, man.
Yeah.
But listen, you put an asterisk next to it. It's not really.
All right.
Yeah, it's like a fucking little tack on loop thing that Bob Ezrin did, but yeah, that's not really I mean, Do You Love Me really is the final song.
It's like we don't add the end of the Elder where it's like, I think he's.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that was my number 20.
Not mentioned
But actually, I did add that little segment of the Elder as my number 1 because you can't get better than that. He's got the fire in his eyes.
Oh man.
But I'm sorry. Everything else makes sense then.
Okay.
I'm going to leave it on there because I don't want.
I should have made it clear. And you know what? I was gonna send a list of the 20 songs out to everybody, but I mean, I figured everybody fucking knew what because I was gonna put actually question Car Jam as well, because that's just kind of a tacked on song.
I did include Car Jam.
I did include that.
I added Car Jam on mine.
Yes, Car Jam is on mine as well. I mean,
Okay.
even though it's kind of an afterthought, they threw on something for Eric on Revenge. It still is the final track. It's a fully realized final track or whatever. So, but yeah, all right, I'll go. So my 20 is gonna be a Gene Sung song from Hot in the Shade, Boomerang. Dude, that song is just putrid to me. You know, if somebody likes it, it's all good, man.
Ralph likes it. I know he does.
It's in my top 10 too.
It's not in my top 10, but I don't hate it. I like Boomerang.
Nah, man, I don't like Boomerang.
I don't like
dude. I don't know. I just sounds so thin to me. And I mean, well, half that album, I mean, most of the album was just demos anyway. But I don't know. It never grabbed. By the time I got to the 15th song on Hot in the Shade, I was fucking so exhausted. I was probably sleeping already anyway. So I mean, just so fucking overlong that album. But anyway, 19, Chris, go ahead, man.
My Elder contribution, is my number 19 song.
Wow.
I think it's the lamest attempt at rewriting Rock and Roll All Night. And then you add finger snaps in the middle, and Paul doing a fucking Elvis impression. I don't need no more. That fuck off. It's fucking awful.
Yeah, when you put it like that, it's not great.
It doesn't sound good.
Oh man, dude, you guys are breaking my heart. Anyway,
hate that song.
All right, man. Aaron, go ahead, brother.
For number 19, that's where I got Ralph picked it for his worst song. I put it right down there with him. You're All That I Want. It's just, I don't know. It's a weird song. It's too poppy. It's like they're trying to get a radio hit with that, but they never released it as a single. But it's not a hard rock and Kiss song that I like. So yeah, one of the worst Gene songs, and it's really one of the worst Kiss songs. That's it for me. Way down there. You're All That I Want.
It's funny to picture Gene in his makeup and costume singing that song.
Yeah. But it's easy to picture him dressed up in like the Asylum era singing that song.
Yeah, that would work. As long as he's dressed like a woman, yeah, it works.
You gotta remember, this is a guy that did like Great Expectations.
Yeah. But I like that
Going,
way better.
Going Blind, which I love Going Blind, but
Love
still,
that.
I mean, it's not a demon song.
No, it's a wimpy ass song.
It's a pedophile song.
Your girlfriend's gonna get him, bro.
Yeah, my girlfriend's gonna throw him in jail.
Ralph's just pretending to be a Kiss fan to get intel for his girlfriend.
Yeah, top secret.
Oh man. All right, Ralph, go ahead, brother.
19, Look, and I don't know, maybe none of you hear it in this song, but I hear the Foo Fighters all over this song. And I hate the Foo Fighters. I Walk Alone.
Wow.
And I'm not a Carnival of Souls hater. I actually like that album. I just think that song is weak. I don't like Bruce's vocals. I don't like the little backward shit going on in the middle. It's way down there, man, at 19. I Walk Alone off an album I dig, Carnival of Souls.
All right, man. Love Carnival of Souls as well, man.
Yeah, I love that album.
Andy, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I thought that I would love to hear a guy version of then he kissed me. And then I finally heard the guy version. Boy, I was wrong. I never wanted to hear a guy version now. It was horrible off of Love Gun. And after Love Gun is a really good, strong album. It really is. And then to end it that way, just puzzling how they ended with Then She Kissed Me. And the first time I heard that, I was like, nah, it can't be that. Because it's got the beat. It's starting the beat when it starts. I was like, wow, that's odd. So that's my number 19 is Then She Kissed Me.
But they never wanted to do that song, right?
Right. But they did.
And they fought against, but then the record company kind of made them do it.
Yeah.
Really? At that point in their career? Like when they were like fucking supernova?
That's what I'm asking Czynszak. He's the expert.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know, I thought it was Paul's idea to do it.
Well, that makes sense then.
All right, man. Well, my number 19, and they did it on their final show, and they couldn't swap it out for like a better song. So Sonic Boom, I'm going to Sonic Boom to Say Yeah. I never really liked that song, man. It's like when they played that, actually somebody commented on I think they commented on Facebook. They were like, yeah, once I heard them play that one, then you knew there was going to be no changes to the set list whatsoever if they were playing that one, man. So, and I tend to agree with them. So yeah, Say Yeah, Sonic Boom, that never grabbed me, man. So that's my number 19.
Well, Say Yeah was on the set list because Paul said he didn't want to put no deep tracks.
Yeah, I know, man. It's I don't know. It's ridiculous, man. I mean,
It's in my top 10.
But again, they're
No.
but again, their concerts are so scripted now. No spontaneity. It's like they can't swap out one song, dude. It's like it'll fuck them all up and shit, But like I saw some video of them doing the sound check stuff, and they were doing what were they doing, like Plaster Caster and stuff like that. And I was like, man, that's fucking kind of cool, dude, that they're busting those songs out and shit. But whatever. I guess they're gonna play the Cruise next year. I'm thinking they are.
No, they would never go back on their word. What are you talking about?
We're talking about Kiss here, man. They tell the truth about everything. Anyway, go ahead, Chris, man. Number 18.
This one's already been picked, but I'm going to echo the sentiment. Boomerang is my number 18. Never liked this song. Probably like it a little more now with age, but still not much. Still don't think it's very good. And it's like, oh, we got to have a fast song to prove that we can really rock out with the young guys. That's the way it comes off to me. It doesn't sound genuine to me.
No, I like heavy metal Kiss.
They pull it off on some songs, but I don't think they do on this one.
I have a feeling this song's pretty high on Aaron's list. I don't know why.
It ain't that high. It ain't.
Okay, all right. Not top 10, but maybe, I don't know, 15.
Yeah. It's still hanging in there for me and Ralph.
All right.
And Andrew.
Yeah. It is.
All right. So then I guess for me, for number 18, this is where Say Yeah comes up for me. I mean, if that's the song that you chose, like, okay, we have to have some song from this era to play, and you've got to choose between all the songs on Sonic Boom and all the songs on Monster, and you pick Say Yeah, it's a Def Leppard song. It's not even a Kiss song. No, I don't like it at all.
True, man.
Yeah, that's the third worst one on my list.
All right, man. Go ahead, Ralph.
Chris picked it already. Murder in High Heels. What a putrid song. It's not the only putrid song on that album. That album proves how important Vinnie Vincent was.
Amen to that.
You know, I mean, you can hear it. I mean, Into the Fire is a fluke how good that song is. That was a fluke. That album is crap. And Murder in High Heels, it may not even be the worst song on the album. That's how bad that album.
It's back there on the wall there.
What was the other Gene song? I think it was even worse.
While the City Sleeps.
No, that I love that.
Burn, bitch, burn.
I like that. But yeah,
No,
Burn Bitch Burn is the
Even that's really bad, but it was another one.
another Gene song.
What's the other Gene song on there? I know
I know. Fuck. What is it?
so bad. I think that's the worst song.
Lonely is the Hunter.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
All right. May not be worse than Murder in High Heels, but it's damn close.
It's got a better riff though.
Yeah, those are the my two least favorite on there. So there you go. Murder in High Heels is my number 18.
All right, man. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, I got the same thing as Ralph on that one. Murder in High Heels off of Animalize. Now I've had Animalize on cassette for a very long time. Since after 2015, and I don't hear it that often. But when I was going through the last songs, that was just I always like albums to end on a high note, to let you leave after hearing the album going, man, that was damn good. So this was a bad song to an album that was very lackluster. So Murder in High Heels for me, number 18.
So Timeline proves that this song sucks no matter when you get into the band.
Well, I'm going to prove that again.
Song.
I'm going to prove it again because that's my 18 as well.
There you go.
Murder in High Heels. And actually, I don't think Animalize is as much crap as you guys think of it. I kind of, because that's kind of one of the first albums I had in my possession. So I kind of like half the album. But yeah, that song is not good though to end that album. I don't know. Kiss trying to be funky kind of sounds like it, I mean, just I don't know.
Well, and the whole vocal delivery on the chorus, murder.
Yeah,
that
one. I mean,
so
the funk,
stupid.
The way it starts off, that funky part, it's actually not bad. But then when it gets in that chorus, it just
And the riff on the chorus itself is pretty good, but I don't know. Gene's vocals ruin it.
Is that Bruce Kulick on guitar?
No, he's on Lonely as the Hunter.
Okay.
Or he might be on Murder in High Heels too. I can't remember.
No, I thought he was on. Was he on Thrills in the Night and Lonely as the Hunter? I think it was those two songs. I think.
You might be right. I can't. Yeah.
Don't remember, man. But I know he's on Thrills in the Night. I think that's one.
I know that John blah 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 played bass on
Jean Beauvoir.
Jean Beauvoir.
Yeah. All right, so that's my 18. Chris, go ahead with number 17.
Ralph's already said it. You're all that I want. I don't want that. So yeah, not a good song, and terrible way to close an album. Even if Paul sang it, I don't think it would have saved it. I just think it's bad all the way around.
It does seem more like a Paul song.
Oh yeah,
song.
But even it's just not good.
All right.
Weird they played that in Europe live though.
They played it live?
Yeah, when they did the European tour on Unmasked. Yeah.
Wow.
And probably in was it Australia as well, right?
I don't think they played it in Australia. I think it was just on the European tour.
Oh, okay.
So they play that and not Naked City. Okay.
Yeah, Naked City's a much better song.
Way better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though they're trying to cop the Police with the whole reggae sound.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what you're 17, right?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead, Aaron.
I'm taking it off the board for everybody. I'm the last one. Murder in High Heels. I guess kind of technically that's the first song that's completely off the board, I think.
Wow, that's pretty quick too.
Yeah.
Congrats to that song. It got a whole bunch of Kiss fans to agree on one thing. We all think it sucks.
Yeah, it's not good. That's the fourth worst for me.
All right, Ralph, go ahead, brother.
All right, and number 17, I got to say, there is a YouTube channel out there that's only dedicated to Eric Carr, where they put up little interview clips of Eric Carr. And one of the interview clips I heard of Eric Carr, he said that he did a drum solo during The Elder, that he hated. He said it sucks, horrible, and that's what ends Revenge is Car Jam. Now,
Really?
I would love to hear Ace doing that breakout thing. You know, they got Bruce to do it. I would love to hear the original version. But honestly, I love, and I always said it, man, to me, seeing Kiss in the 80s, the highlight was always Eric Carr because he always changed up the drum solo. And drum solos are usually boring unless it's Eric Carr. He always did a top-notch drum solo. And I don't think that drum solo at the end of Revenge is that good. I think it's kind of like unmemorable.
I liked it.
I did too. I heard like they edited it down too, I think.
Oh, you can tell it's pieced together.
Yeah. So like Ralph says though, man, I'd love to hear the whole like uncut version.
Yeah, the Ace version would be awesome. You know?
Yeah. But that's not Ace on guitar. Like I know Bruce Kulick overdubbed the lead on there.
That's Ace playing the riffs.
The riff, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a demo version. I don't remember if it's what Unknown Force, I think they call it.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah.
And it's the demo version of that where it's Ace and Eric, and it's out there. It's on YouTube. You can find it.
I definitely got. What's the name of it again?
Unknown Force.
Let me write that down. Unknown Force.
And is it a longer drum solo on there, or is it? Do you remember that, or no? Or is there even a drum solo on it?
No, it's basically it's Car Jam.
Okay.
But it's, I guess, the original version that those two sat down and recorded.
Okay.
Cool. I'll check it out.
Yeah, because I always heard that like it was just I don't know. I guess I read in an interview that it was a longer, the drum solo maybe had been longer or something. They edited it down, but I don't know. Maybe they didn't. You know.
What I would love to hear is Peter Criss's drum solo on Strange Ways.
Oh, they were. Yeah, that's right, man.
Because
didn't he threaten to quit?
If you don't put my drum solo on the song,
yep.
I'm gonna quit. So he recorded it, and then they took it out, and he didn't quit. But man, I wonder if that still exists. You know?
That would be cool, man.
Yeah,
I'd love to hear that.
So that's
I mean, YouTube has everything that you can almost imagine.
I know.
So I'm pretty sure you can find it somehow, some way.
Maybe Gooch owns it.
Yeah.
All right, so Car Jam's your 17. That was your 17, right, Ralph?
Yes, it was.
All right, man. Go ahead, Andy.
I do like this album, Monster, but I'm going to go with Last Chance.
Ooh.
As my number 17 song on there for me.
Okay.
I really don't have that much to say about it. That's just, the way that it lined up for me on this list. So Last Chance.
All right. All right. Well, my number 17, I'm going to the Crazy Nights album. I'm going with Thief in the Night. I don't hate the song, actually. I think, but ranking all these songs, there's just songs I like better. So I think it's like actually one of the better songs on Crazy Nights, to be honest with you. But it's coming in at my number 17. I don't hate it. I don't think it's shit. I think it's a good song, but it just from here on in, I really don't like hate the song. So this is my number 17, Thief in the Night. And then somebody else do that song too.
Wendy O. Williams.
There you go. Wendy
Yeah.
O. Williams.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
I like
that's
her.
my 17, man. Go ahead, Chris.
16. So, and also to preface this with, where these fall in the ranking is because you're ranking them against each other, not the album they're on or whatever. So that makes the choices a little different. So my next, and like Ralph was saying, I agree with him. I love Monster as well. I think it's a great album, but it's going to land Last Chance at number 16 on my list just because of where it ranks against these other songs. I still like it, but that's where it wound up on here.
Cool.
All right. So then I guess 16 for me. Ralph already mentioned it. I don't hate the song, and it's cool to hear Bruce sing one, but if I got to chop one off, just because of the strength of a lot of these other songs, my 16 is I Walk Alone off of Carnival of Souls. And I love Carnival of Souls.
Yeah, man. Carnival of Souls is awesome, man. And,
I got to mirror what Andy and Sizzler just said because I love Monster. I think Last Chance, though not a bad song, it's kind of one of the songs that are like whatever. And I think it's a horrible way to end the album. I thought the album deserved a better song to end it, like the bonus track right here, right now. I don't know
Yeah, I think that's a better song.
Yeah, that would have been a great ending, and put that as the bonus track, you know? But yeah, I got to say Last Chance would be my number 16, was it?
Yeah, 16.
Yeah, 16.
All right, cool, man. Go ahead, Andy.
This one has already been mentioned off of Sonic Boom. Say Yeah. It's going to be my number 16. Not much to add about that song. It was just blah. It did nothing for me at all. So
All right. All right. Well, number 16, I'm going with Car Jam off of Revenge. Again, I don't hate the song. I think the drum solo is okay. But like like Ralph was saying, the drum solos that he did like every tour were really. I love the Eric Carr, man. I think he did some great stuff, man. And I remember the drum solo on Asylum was really cool, man. So yeah, I'm going with Carl Jam. No, and like he says, I mean, I'd love to hear, the original one. So now, like that Aaron brought that up, man. I'll go check that out too. I'll find it on YouTube and check it out. I never heard the original one, so there were the demo. Or
Unknown Force, man.
There you go. So that's my 16 is Car Jam. Number 15, Chris.
I'm gonna go with "I Walk Alone" for number 15. It was cool to hear Bruce sing, but we only needed to hear him sing once, in my opinion. He's just not a singer, but I think there's isn't there a vault version with Gene singing the whole song? Ralph, you have the vault.
I don't think so.
Or maybe I read about Gene doing a full vocal. I'd love to hear a full vocal.
You know what?
With Gene.
If it is on the vault, I forgot about it because that vault is so forgettable.
Yeah.
but I think Gene singing "I Walk Alone," I would remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I may have read it in an interview where he took a pass at the vocal, but I'd love to hear the whole thing. And I do like the solo on it a lot. I think it's cool.
Yeah, solo's cool.
Oh yeah, it is.
All right, cool, man. So what do we got? 15, right? So what's your 15, Aaron?
Let's see. So I said it went a little bit higher on the list than what the most of you have picked. And as predicted, I'm the second to the last one to eliminate this song. And it is one I like because, like I said, it's Kiss being heavy, trying to be metal. And I like when Kiss does that. So I'm going to finally eliminate Boomerang, leaving Ralph is the only one that still has it on his list.
No, I think Andy still has it.
Oh, you still got Boomerang too? Okay. All right.
It's Andy's number 1.
That'd be amazing.
Boom.
That would be pretty wild.
Oh man. All right. So that's your 15. Go ahead, Ralph.
All right, 15. Now I gotta say, so far I don't like any of these songs, and this is a song I don't like either. But I will say one thing positive about this song. It's pretty much one of the better songs on the album, even though it sucks so much. It shows you how I feel about the album. It's just Say Yeah. It's a horrible song, but it's one of the better songs off the Sonic Boom.
Oh wow.
So yeah, there you go. Say Yeah is my number 15.
Jeez.
So far on my list, none of these songs I like.
I like the Tommy Thayer song better than Say Yeah.
I like.
That is a good song.
I like the song on Monster that Tommy sings. I forgot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This World, good stuff.
Space theme, really cool.
The last few times, just to interject here on Monster, the last few times that you've brought that album up, Ralph, because I hadn't listened to Monster in a long time. I kind of went back and reevaluated it, man, and it is a really pretty damn good album, man. I will say that.
Yeah, I'm glad Kiss went out with that one.
Yeah, and not Sonic Boom, because I don't know, man. At the time Sonic Boom came out, I did like it, but then that hasn't aged well. Like I go back and listen to that, and I'm like, yeah, Monster fucking crushes that shit, dude. As far as like the 2 albums that the Scab Kiss did, So yeah, but I went back and reevaluated Monster, and it's good. If they're gonna go on that note, it's pretty admirable. So
yeah, at Sonic Boom, Tommy Thayer was trying so hard to be Ace on all those guitars.
Yeah,
Where on Monster, he played himself. He wasn't playing Ace, and I like that.
Yeah.
It's a more honest record.
Yeah. All right, and
Yeah, this one has already been mentioned. I think only one time it's been mentioned so far. Off of Unmasked, You're All I Want is my number 15.
yeah.
Even though I do like Unmasked, I like the variety sound that they have on that album, you know? It's a lot of interesting songs on there, but number 15 is going to be You're All I Want.
All right. My number 15, I'm going to Love Gun, man. And then She Kissed Me. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the worst out of all the 70s albums. I mean, it's to go out on a cover like that. But I don't hate the song though. I mean, it's a good cover. I actually like the song, but I mean, I'm ranking it out of all these songs. It's going to be low on my list. So that's going to be my number 15. Then She Kissed Me. So that's that, man. So we're going to go to number 14, Chris.
Well, I echo the sentiment. That song is my next pick. Then She Kissed Me. But I mean, it's not. I don't think it's that bad. I mean, it's a cover song from a '60s girl group. But how many songs did the Ramones do that were basically covers of '60s girl groups? I mean, what's the difference? So, and I think the solo's catchy. I thought it was cool when I was 13, and I figured out how to play the solo. So it kind of has a kind of a soft spot for me. But nothing amazing. But that's where it lands for me.
You know, the Beatles also did a lot of female group girl covers as well.
Please, Mr. Postman is one of my favorite Beatles songs.
Yeah.
Even though it's a cover, Please, Mr. Postman is one of my all-time favorite Beatles songs, which was an all-chick group that did that song.
Yeah, it was. I think it was the Shirelles, if I'm not mistaken.
I love the way the Beatles did it.
You guys know this new band I've been hearing about called Soul Station. It sounds like it'd be right up all your alleys.
Actually, Ralph likes that album, I think.
I actually did. And I didn't want to, man. I mean, hey, Aaron, I'm ashamed too, bro. But I like it. And I'll tell you something funny about Stool Station. I got, what do they call it? Test pressing of it because I knew somebody that worked in a record pressing place. And I had Stool Station for about, I'm telling you, close to a year I've had it. And I was cranking it constantly because I like that old Motown shit. Yeah. And I think Paul sounded great, man, with that fucking studio magic. I loved it. I love that album, man. I want another one, you know?
Wow. Sinking Stanley ruined me like calling. I always call it Stool Station all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple songs on there I can do without. It's not an all killer, no filler.
Right.
But man, some songs on there are just fucking awesome. Then again, you know, I love things that suck.
Paul Stanley, you're great when you're not doing your music.
Yeah.
You're great doing Folgers commercials too, man.
Oh, that's a classic.
All right, who's next? That's Aaron, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. So then
14, right?
Then She Gets Me on anybody's list yet?
Yeah, I just chose that as my number 15.
That's what I'm asking. Is that completely gone?
Yeah, I think Andy chose it, and
I did.
I don't think
it's
Ralph
gone
chose
now.
it.
So that's
Ralph still has it out there.
I still haven't.
Oh, you haven't eliminated it yet?
I thought I did.
They're my top 10, man.
Yeah.
And She Kissed Me lives on.
Thank you, Kiss Me, and Stool Station.
My goodness.
All
right, this is where I eliminate Last Chance. It's not bad. I don't hate it. I think I'm at the point now on my list where they're mostly songs that I do like, but then it comes up on the order now. You know, like Then She Kissed Me, You're All That I Want, Say Yeah, Murder in High Heels, I Walk Alone, and even Boomerang. Kind of easy to eliminate. But at this point is where it starts getting in Last Chance because it's all right. But at this point going forward is where it starts getting a little tougher for me to line these up. And when I did this, when you told me about how to do this, then I just kind of like started at the beginning and went higher, lower, higher, lower, higher, lower, and made my list based on that. So At this point going forward after Last Chance, it gets a little bit trickier to put these in order for me anyway. So
All right.
Matt.
So that's 14. Last Chance. Go ahead, Ralph.
14 for me. All right, now we're getting into songs I don't hate. Even though this song is like, it's all right. But it's down there with Odyssey, with my least favorite off The Elder. And that's I. It's all right. It's like, I don't hate it. I don't love it. That's my favorite part, man. I'm a big fan of The Elder, but yeah, I gotta say that I is not like, yeah, it's them trying to do. I don't think it's them trying to do Rock and Roll All Night. I think it's them trying to do Tomorrow and Tonight. You know,
Yeah.
It's all right, but but after this it gets good. I start liking all the songs after this. Well, the next one's kind of spotty too, but that is my number 14 is I.
All right, Andy.
Yeah, the same thing as Ralph. I think this is the second time we matched. I'm going with music from The Elder with I as my number 14. And I do like music from The Elder because I like prog and I like storytelling and I like all the production that they put into it, all the hard work they put into it. But at that time, that's not what people wanted to hear from Kiss, and it's not what people want to hear from Kiss. But I liked it. But I will be my number 14.
Although the video's great.
Isn't it them at Studio 54 as a 3-piece?
No, like the actual official video got released like in the last year that they have been hiding. You've seen it by now, I'm sure.
I know, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's all.
Where they're sitting on people's shoulders and stuff in the audience.
I haven't seen that, man. This went over my head.
I can't remember where I saw it, but I saw a version of I without all that crap written on the screen. Mm-hmm. You saw it too? Without that?
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool to finally see that.
Who was hoarding it? Kurt Gooch?
Yep. That's exactly who was hoarding it.
Shit, man. I made a joke on asking if he was at the Final Kiss shows.
Well, I hope you guys know that this will be the only time this gets seen because Kurt's going to claim copyright ownership after this.
Oh, yeah, no.
Talk about Kiss.
Andy, fucking go get a fucking patent on this show right now, bro.
I got it.
He owns Kiss discussion.
All right, well, I'm going my number 14. I'm going with I think Aaron just picked this one too. Last Chance off of was it Monster? So I'm going with that one. Again, I don't hate this is from this point forward. I don't hate the songs. I think it's a good song, but it's in the grand scheme of all the final songs, it falls as number 14 on here. So Last Chance off of Monster, that's gonna be mine. So we'll go to 13. You, Chris.
13. I got Car Jam 81. Love it, and I love the riff. I love the soloing on it. I like what Bruce did with it. But no, it's don't hate it. I just think it's cool. It's number 13.
Cool.
All right, 13 for me. I'm going to be breaking out a new one that nobody else has picked up to this point so far. I'm jumping ahead to Psycho Circus.
Oh, no.
And Journey of 1,000 Years. I don't hate this song. It's actually kind of cool, but there's just so much other stuff on this list that I like better.
All right.
So I'm bringing this one forth.
All right, man. So Ralph, number 13.
Number 13 is off. Sorry, Chris. I don't mean I do not judge you, bro. I hate bands, not fans. I'm not.
That's why we're still friends.
Yeah, I'm not like if Ian hated Crazy Nights, he wouldn't be your friend. And he'd wish death on you. I'm not that way.
Dodge the bullet there.
Thief in the Night is one of the better songs off the album. I don't even like Wendy's version. I love the Lost Kiss album. Wow. That album rules. But Thief in the Night is an okay tune. Not great, not awesome. This is the last song on my list that I don't completely love because everything after this I fucking love. Even some of the really cheesy shit that they ended albums with, I fucking love coming up. So my number 13 is Thief in the Night.
Cool. All right, Andy.
Now, I know that I will probably hear from y'all about this. Because number 13, I've heard about how great the song is, this and that. And I tried to really put this higher, but it just didn't click with me. Off of Creatures of the Night, War Machine.
Whoa.
Wow.
13.
Interesting, because that's a fan favorite.
Yeah, I know, and I'm always hearing about it and how Brian Adams was a co-writer, and it just does nothing for me. So that's number 13 for me.
That's a bit of a surprise for me, but yeah, it's your thing, man.
Yeah,
Andy. Like I got a lot of closed-minded metalhead friends.
No.
And I play them War Machine. They're like, all right, yeah, there. Finally, a Kiss song I like.
Yeah.
You need to be a closed-minded metalhead to understand how great War Machine is.
Me. Top 5, baby.
Same here.
All right, man. So my number 13, I'm going to the Unmasked album, You're All That I Want. I'm going to that one. The Unmasked, Unmasked was one of the last Kiss albums I ended up owning, out of the discography. When I finally completed the discography, that was like the last album I got. And because I don't know, man, the songs I would hear off it, I don't know, it just sounded so neutered on there, like the guitar sound and the production. I didn't like Vinnie Ponch's production on there, man. So I don't know, but as I've gotten older and I've actually listened to the album, I've grown to like it more. But as far as like the last songs on here, that's gonna fall out my number 13. You're All That I Want. Gene ends that album, so yeah, that's my number 13. So we'll go to number 12 to Chris.
Number 12, Do You Love Me from Destroyer. I know it's like a big legendary song, but they play it every night, or they did. Well, I guess the Avatars will continue playing it every night. But it never did a whole lot for. It's okay. I liked it when I was like 12. But it's so damn repetitive that it just never did much for me. So that lands at 12 on my list.
Okay.
That is incorrect.
Yeah, but you're a closed-minded metalhead. So.
Yeah, that's why You Love Me's high on my list too.
All right.
I just have bad taste. So.
And Ralph likes music that sucks. And
yeah,
we got all our bases covered here.
We Are One, awesome tune. If it would have ended Psycho Circus, it would have been my number 1.
No.
I don't get you sometimes.
Yeah, me neither.
I feel like Ralph has fights in his head, man. Like,
yeah, I struggle with the shit I like. It's like I'm listening to We Are One, and I'm like, man, this is awesome. And then the side of my head is like, shut the hell up. Worst taste in music. Jesus Christ, are you so anti-heterosexual?
I feel like if you would have given Ralph this task like a month ago, it would have ruined his life.
All right, man. Aaron, number 12, brother.
When I did this list, I just had to do it and say, that's it. I'm not looking at it again. Like, I made my choices and I'm going to have to stand with them. Because honestly, when you're doing something like this list can change tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the next day it would be different. The next day after that, it'd be different too. So like I said, I picked them and I said, that's it. I'm not messing with it no more. One time and done. This is the round I finally eliminate out of the equation here. I don't hate it. I think when I was younger, it was cooler because it just was. It's one of them upbeat Kiss songs, like you can do it kind of thing, or like believe in yourself. And I always liked that about Kiss. That's one of the things that always made me like the band was the fact that, they would say, it doesn't matter what everybody else tells you, as long as you feel good about what you're doing, you're not hurting nobody, you do your thing, and everyone's going to tell you you're stupid, and that's, I can totally relate with that. Cause like growing up that people would say like, what do you want to do when you grow up? I'm like, I'm going to be a radio DJ and I'm going to be a professional wrestling ring announcer. And they'd go, ha, 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 that's never going to happen for you. And then all these years later, I've got to do all that stuff. And then now I'm, part of the Decibel Geek podcast. And now people come around and be like, wow, you actually did the shit that you said you were going to do when you were a young, stupid kid, and it's like, fuck yeah, I did, because of the power of Kiss. You know, they taught me that I could believe in myself and I could do these things. So I don't take it lightly that I'm eliminating I, because even though it's not the greatest Kiss song, it's a fucking awesome message, you know, and it's an uplifting thing to, especially a young person, can hear that and go, you know what? You know, people say my ideas are dumb, but I believe in them, so I'm going to do them. And you can kind of live by that shit.
Nice.
So I don't take it lightly that I'm eliminating it, but I is gone.
Fucking Aaron with
Kiss
all
have
these.
a lot of positive.
Aaron with always the uplifting speeches there, bro.
That's right.
Really, how positive is I? I see it as a very negative song because it says not to take drugs.
Oh, yeah. I guess I missed that part.
That part didn't sink in all the way.
Don't drink and don't do drugs, but other than that, you know, follow your dreams.
He was taking the puff while that line was happening and he didn't hear it.
Well,
Follow your dreams on cocaine.
well, I mean, Hulk Hogan told you to take your vitamins, so
Right, yeah, that's right.
All right, Ralph.
You pick
My
and
number
choose.
12 now, starting now. All these songs I love. I mean, love. I love all these songs. I just happen to love 12 other ones more than this, but I love the last song on Psycho Circus, Journey of 1,000 Years. I freaking love that song. I love how they bring back the riff of Psycho Circus toward the end, the orchestration. Gene's voice is awesome. Journey of 1,000 Years. I love it. I love every song coming up, and that's one of them I love. I got 11 more coming up, and I got to take a whiz.
Go ahead, brother. All right, Andy, go ahead, man. Number
I
12,
hate
brother.
to be a copycat. It sounds like I'm being a copycat, but Psycho Circus, Journey of 1,000 Years. I like that song. I really do. But like y'all are saying, you know, there's other songs that are better than this. But it's an all right track, and you know, this was about the. I've only heard Psycho Circus a couple of times, so that lands on number 12.
So the Journey of 1,000 Years is still alive for Al and Chris, but the rest of us, it's gone.
Well, my number 12 is Journey of 1,000 Years, man. And the things that Ralph touched on, man, like the orchestration and it's really I think it was a cool way to actually end the album. Yes, honey. Oh, good night, hon. Oh, listen.
Good night.
Say bye, Kayla.
Bye.
All right, listen. Sit here for a second.
All right.
Sit here for a second.
Okay.
All right. So we're talking Kiss here. So what are some of your favorite songs? Tell the guys here.
Well, my favorite songs are God of Thunder, Rock and Roll Night, I Was Made for Loving You, and
I Was Made for Loving You.
God Made Rock and Roll for to You too.
Okay, cool. That's like your top 4 songs there, man.
Right on.
Yeah.
And what did you tell me the other day about the members of Kiss? Like you thought certain members were good, but like there's other members that are better.
Yeah. I like Tommy Thayer and Eric Saber. They're pretty good, but like I kind of missed Peter Criss and Ace Frehley. I'm sad they didn't come on the last tour. Last concert.
Well, if they were on the last tour, I would have definitely taken you to the last concert. Probably.
Yeah, we were still in New Jersey.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when have we even flown up there? Who knows? You know. Anyway.
Are you drinking out of my coffee?
Yeah, this is her cup. I stole her cup. This is her Kiss cup.
Busted.
She busted.
Oh man.
And also, I wore those shoes right there.
Oh yeah, point out the Gene costume there.
Them are super cool shoes, and I can tell you.
Bring it here. Bring it here.
Heavy. These are.
All right. Well, this costume here. Like, go point to the costume over there.
Awesome.
So,
I would totally wear those to Rockin' Pod.
Oh yeah, those are totally Aaron Camaro shoes.
Let me go great with that jacket you got, Aaron.
What?
Those shoes will go great with that jacket.
I'm telling you.
So let me tell you a little story about like this costume. I won a grand prize contest over a radio station up in New York, and one of the grand prize things. This is the actual costume that was worn by the actor in that Spinning Gold.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That played Gene. That played Gene. That's the actual costume, right? Bring the jacket here, hon. Here. I'll grab it.
What? I'll grab your pants.
So yeah, here's the jacket. And then the back's got that, it's the old
Yeah.
kind
That's
of the
cool.
bat. It's one of the early Gene costumes.
Very cool.
Yeah, that is.
Cool
Dude.
pants.
And I don't know, you guys probably saw my post about like this 550-pound box that got delivered to my house.
Yeah,
Well, it's a fucking Kiss fucking logo that lights up, dude.
No way.
And you won that?
I won that, dude. They sent that. They got sent from California to North Carolina to here, man. Like,
Wow.
stop. And it's a 500. It was in a big wooden box, dude. And honestly, it would take up like this whole wall, dude.
Wow.
Yeah. So I finally found a spot. I can't put it in the house, obviously, because my wife will fucking kill me.
living room.
But on the back porch. All right, hon. Good night.
You knew what I was when you married me.
It's that light.
On the back porch in the lanai, the porch that's closed off. There's the wall back there in my house, man. I measured it. It's gonna fit perfectly there.
Oh,
And
wow.
she's like, "Yeah, it's fine. You can put it there." So
You could put
I
it inside.
was actually gonna like put it out there. I haven't taken it out of the box yet, but I was gonna try to take it out and put it back there, set it up, and do this podcast and have it like lighten up in the back.
Well, yeah, you got to start a tribute band now because you have the logo.
But anyway, man, that's like I couldn't believe when I won that shit. Dude. I was like, "Wow, this is
That's
insane,
awesome.
man."
Yeah.
So, all right. So where are we at, man? We're at me, right? Or you went? Yeah, I picked Journey of 1,000 Years as number 12.
Right.
So that's going to be like Ralph said, the orchestration. I like the way it ends the album, and it's one of the I like that song a lot. Like he said, man. And from here on in, man, I really like a lot of these songs now. So we're gonna go to number 11. Chris, go ahead, brother.
My next choice, it's pure poetry, but it's laid over an amazing, awesome riff, and that's the classic All Night.
There you go.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too, man. When I was a young kid and I heard that song for the first time, I was like, oh yeah, that explains the feelings I've been having in my pants.
Oh yeah, it's totally written for people going through puberty.
Yeah, totally understood it. And I think we're all in agreement now at this point. It gets really difficult. There's nothing I hate about that song. I still love it. And every time I hear it, it takes me back to a place when I first heard it. And like you said, with young hormones running wild, a song like that, you're just like, Kiss understands me, So I hate to eliminate it, but yeah, that's what's up on the chopping block for me. It's All Night.
So Chris, what was yours? 11? What was your 11 again?
Same song.
Same song, All Night. Okay, so both of you have that. All right, Ralph, go ahead, brother.
I mean, Aaron's talking about he likes All Night because he was a child. and what's going on in my pants? What's my excuse? I was like in my 60s when Asylum came out. and that's my pick. That is my pick. All Night is my 11. I got to tell you, man, that is one stupid ass song. Come on. That song
great.
is stupid, but I love it. I love it. Stupid ass song. To me, it kind of reminds me of Heaven's on Fire Part 2. And I love it. I love that riff. I love the stupid lyrics. And it's just, That's like my favorite part where they do it like 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
During the song.
And then they go, woo!
Yeah.
Woo!
I got to see him play that live one time on the Asylum tour.
Wow.
I love that song. I absolutely love that song.
Yeah, I saw
video,
the Asylum tour too. Yeah, I remember them playing that.
Wow.
That's my number 11.
All right, 11, Andy.
Number 11. This is 4 in a row. Asylum with All Night.
Wow.
As my number 11. That's crazy.
Wow, nice.
Holy
Yeah.
shit! If Al picks it, that means it's going to be a clean sweep.
Yep.
Well, I hate to be the deal breaker here.
Oh,
But my number 11 is going to be from Carnival of Souls. It's going to be I Walk Alone, the Bruce sang song. I actually really love that song. I mean, listen, I love the music, the riffs. I love the backwards drumming, the backwards guitar, like the effects they did in it. And, Bruce doesn't have a great voice, but, it finally, it's irony that they finally let him sing on the last album, the last track, and it's called "I Walk Alone." See you later, pal. You know, it's
Very
like
prophetic. Yeah.
here's your walking papers.
Yeah, I ain't walking with Ace and Peter, that's for sure.
Yeah. So that's my number 11. I Walk Alone. I love Carnival of Souls. I remember, man, when that album came out, and I was like, I really fucking. I remember hearing Jungle on the radio. They actually played it on New York radio before the album came out, and I was like, wow, it's fucking pretty like fucking cool with the bass and the intro and all that stuff. And I thought it was really cool. So I remember. Oh, you know what? No, a friend of mine had the bootleg of that actually, a cassette.
Yeah.
But the quality was shit, man. I mean, it was like maybe 10 generations. So it's like you could kind of tell Kiss was heavy, but it was like almost like the production, the murkiness of like fucking Hotter Than Hell and shit, you know, like the production style, which I love that album, man. But anyway, I like I Walk Alone. So that's my number 11. We're gonna go number 10 now, Mr. Czynszak. Go ahead, brother.
Top 10 songs.
Top 10.
Yeah, and this one was eliminated for all of y'all way back, but I actually like the song, even though I don't care so much for the record. I'm gonna pick "Say Yeah" for my number 10.
Wow, it lasted a while on your list.
Well, because it's most of that album is Kiss trying to ape 70s Kiss. I don't think "Say Yeah" sounds like 70s Kiss, so I kind of give it points for that. Actually, the chord progression of it is almost exactly the same as that Tommy Two-Tone song, that 8675309.
Jenny.
Next time you listen to it, pay attention to the chords. It's almost the exact same chord.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I always think of that one as like a 90s Def Leppard song.
Gene used to make fun of it when it came out. He called it Paul's REM song. He thought it sounded like REM.
Wow. Yeah, I guess kind of, yeah.
I don't hear it.
I don't hear it either.
Yeah.
Not REM, but more of the Def Leppard, especially.
I'll agree with the Def Leppard assessment.
I can hear that.
When they released that album, it was a lot of that.
Yeah, they did have an album called Yeah. And then to get back to what y'all were talking about earlier, like how did Say Yeah become the staple of the set list when Modern Day Delilah was so much better?
Yeah.
If you're gonna play something off that album.
Well, because Paul's got to hit those high notes.
That's true.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense then.
Well, or you can just hit play.
And play like a Vinnie Vincent drummer.
Right?
You goof on Paul all you want, but this side of the road show did what, 300, 400 shows? And he only got caught like a dozen times in over 300 shows. That guy is awesome at lip syncing.
Yeah, he's a pretty good actor.
Yeah.
All right, Aaron.
This is a tough one because I love it. The fact that they played tribute to Eric Carr with it at the end of Revenge. The fact that it was an old school Ace Frehley, Eric Carr jam always meant a lot to me. Is it a song? It's something special tacked on at the end. I love it. But when you're standing up against some of the classic Kiss songs over the years, it's time for me also to eliminate Car Jam.
Gotcha, man. That's number 10, huh? Good. Okay. Go ahead, Dr. Fuck.
Is that everybody on Car Jam? Is everybody out on that one?
Yeah.
I am.
No.
Oh, you still got it? Okay, all right.
Still alive.
I still got it out.
Okay.
All right, my top 10, starting with top 10 again. As I said, I love all these songs. The song that ends Dynasty, Save Your Love.
Yeah.
Freaking love that tune, man. I love that album. Dynasty is amazing, I think. I think it's an all killer, no filler album. I do feel that way.
I don't ever skip anything on it.
No. Save Your Love is my number 10. Had to be my top 10.
Great one, man. All right, Andy, 10.
Yeah, now we could put Car Jam to rest.
Okay.
Revenge, Car Jam, 1981. I think it's fantastic. I love to hear instrumentals and especially a good heavy metal drum solo at the end, and giving respects to the great Eric Carr. So number 10 to start off my top 10 is going to be Car Jam.
All right.
It blows me away that Eric Carr thought that sucked.
Yeah.
It is wild.
I hear bits of like I hear a little, in the drum solo, I hear little homages there to like Moby Dick, because a little bit of that in there,
I hear a lot of Bonham in that drum solo.
Yeah,
there are pieces of that drum that would get used in his live drum solo. I mean, you can hear little bits come out in the drum solos from the 80s.
All right, man. My number 10, going to the Asylum all night. With Paul's feather pants in the video.
Oh, what a video.
What a video, man. And dude, I mean, again, I love the Asylum album. I think it's one of my favorite like 80s era album, diss albums, man. So way better than fucking Animalize, I'm sorry to say this, Chris. It's a good feeling in between two shit fucking sandwich bread things.
We're all entitled to opinions, and you're entitled to have a wrong one.
I mean, all right, well, there you go, man.
I'll die on that hill. I don't care.
It's cool, man. You love sugary sweet shit, man. You know what I mean?
You're gonna die on that hills from AIDS.
Yeah, okay. God, I'm having flashbacks to doing your show reviewing this record.
Oh yeah, that was a good episode.
Yeah, for you guys.
Diabetes from the sweet
diabetes.
Yeah, sugar coma from Crazy Nights.
Crazy Nights will give you diabetes. Look out.
All right, number 9, Chris, man. Go ahead, brother.
1983, On the Eighth Day is my next pick, and it's a goofy lyrical song, but it's fun, and it's good anthem writing between Gene and Vinny. I think it's a fun tune, and doesn't get brought up in conversation much, but I like that song.
Cool.
That's the first time that one's been mentioned today.
Yeah, because it's still out there.
Yeah.
Bit of it.
Cool. Yeah. Go ahead, Aaron.
All right. Well, I got one I'm bringing up for the first time too. It's Kiss's most popular song. Maybe I'm a little jaded because I've heard it so many times, and it makes me mad because it's like, to normal people and lame radio stations, this is the only Kiss song you're going to hear. Yeah. I hate to eliminate it because it's not a bad song, but there's so many others I love more, and I got to wonder within myself, is it because it's overplayed? Is it because the normal people like hold this song in such high regard? I'm going to eliminate Rock and Roll All Night.
All right, man. I agree with you, bro.
At number 9.
But when I get to it, I'll further explain it. But go ahead, Ralph. Number 9.
My number 9 is Aaron's least favorite of this, but it made it all the way to number 9. Is Then She Kissed Me.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't understand.
We're talking about Ralph here, bro.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm crazy, bro.
I like shit that sucks.
I gotta tell you, when you hear me say shit like I like Then She Kissed Me at number 9, just keep in mind, it'll bring you a little more to my reality, is that I hate Crazy Nights. So you see, I'm not that bad.
I don't know, man. This doesn't make any sense.
And she asked me to be my bride. That shit fucking rules. I love it. I hate Hooligan. That's the only song I don't like on this.
Hooligan, a million times better than that.
No.
Yeah.
You do not take meth. You do not understand.
Oh shit, man.
Right. That's great.
Everything suddenly just snapped into focus.
That's why.
Clears everything up.
All right, Andy. Go ahead,
Yeah, my number 9 is going to be off of Rock and Roll Over You by Making Love.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought that the song was lame until Ace really closed out with a really nice solo at the end. But it was just so cheesy until it got to that part for me. So Making Love is my number 9. But still made the top 10.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, well, my number 9, I'm going to Destroyer and Do You Love Me. Again, we're in the top 10 now here. So, but for me, out of all the 70s Kiss albums, I always thought Destroyer was the most overrated one. I mean, I know a lot of people, it's the classic. I don't know. For me, it tends to get a bit overrated, but I mean, it's still a great fucking album, dude. But that's like the first album I ever saw, like them on the cover, and my older friend had fucking put it on a turntable. And I was still blown away by as a kid. But as time went on, and I discovered all the other great albums, Destroyer kind of falls down into the lower echelon of the 70s albums for me. So yeah, that's going to be my number 9. Do You Love Me? And we'll go to number 8 to you, Chris.
Off an album that Ralph doesn't seem to like. Thief in the Night off Crazy Night.
I don't hate that song. I like that song, dude.
I think I love it. And I think Gene's songs have aged better from that record than Paul's have. But no, I love the riff on it. I think it's a well done song. It's one of the better songs on the record. But yeah, I've always liked it.
I'll agree there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking Thief in the Night. And we give Chris shit about loving Crazy Nights so much, but that's where he came in on the Kiss train. And Thief in the Night is a damn good song. There's over half the list on mine here that I hold in lower regard than that. And I'll be the first one to make fun of Crazy Nights. It's a Bon Jovi album for the most part. But man, as far as that album goes, that's probably the best song to end the album with. You want to walk away with a good, strong feeling about, what you just went through as a listener listening to this. And you've had some ups and you've had some really bad downs, but at least you go out of the album. You've survived the My Way and all that shit. And you get to Thief in the Night and you go, you know what? It's still Kiss. It still rocks. And I still love it. So yeah, most people, I would think, as far as you look at Crazy Nights, if you rank the albums, pretty low. But if you're looking at the last songs on the albums, Thief in the Night's a damn good tune. Damn good.
And I'll agree, My Way is garbage. Terrible.
Garbage. Hell to Hold You. Bleh.
That one's okay.
Thief in the Night. Fuck yeah.
All right, man. Go ahead, Ralph. Number 8.
All right, number 8. They should have ended Crazy Nights with this song because I love this song off a really crappy album. Boomerang. All the way up at my number 8, and it's a song I absolutely love. And I hate On the Shade. I think that album sucks. But that is by far the best song off that album and made it all the way to my number 8, Boomerang.
Wow. All right. All right, Andy, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, my number 8 is going to be Crazy Night, Thief in the Night. I really do like these Bruce Kulick albums. I think he's a fantastic guitar player. And I think he elevated these later albums, like the albums that he was on in the late 80s, early 90s. I think he really elevated that along with Eric Carr. But that's my number 8. It's going to be Thief in the Night.
All right, well, my number 8, and ironically, it's at number 8 from Lick It Up on the 8th day. I'm going with that one. I like the song. I love the riff on it. I love it's like Chris was saying, or I think you said it was like kind of an anthemic kind of quality to it. Yeah, no, I dig the song. Lick It Up, great album, man. I love that album, and that's a great way to end the album. So, and like you said, man, it doesn't get talked about a lot, but I mean, going back and listening to all these last tracks, and when I put that one on, I was like, yeah, man, I fucking forgot how cool this song was. So yeah, man, it's my number 8, and on the 8th day. So now we'll go to number 7, Chris.
Number 7 for me is Journey of 1,000 Years. I like the whole cinematic vibe of it. Like it just builds and builds and builds throughout the song. And like what Ralph said with bringing back like the melody line from the title track. And it's just a very well crafted, and I love Gene's vocal on it. He really hits some high notes on that song. So, that song is a true diamond in the rough because I think Psycho Circus is like the number 2 worst Kiss record right behind The Elder for me. So yeah, hate the record, but love that song.
Well,
All right,
yeah,
man.
that's just what we've been mentioning is that even though we don't like the albums, but the songs are strong.
Right.
The last tracks.
Some of them.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Boomerang.
Man, I gotta bring this up, man, because this is I always whenever I watch Ralph's Kiss Wednesdays videos, man, he always has that opening montage where he holds up every Kiss album and he gets the fucking Hot in the Shade. It's like fucking middle finger right to it, man. Like Crazy Nights gets the thumbs down, Hot in the Shade gets the fucking middle finger, bro. It's like, yeah, I know what his most hated album is, man. From watching him for years. So
I went a little while without using that intro, because I figured, man, I've been playing this so much, and the amount of hate I got for that.
Oh, they're giving the middle finger.
People. I took away that intro completely.
Oh, because you took it away. You got
pissed.
Wow.
They were like, bring back that in. They were really pissed. I was like, oh, okay.
And do the Paul Stanley impression too.
Yeah, that's another thing. When I do it back then, when I did the news, I would always do the Paul Stanley of Kiss.
Yeah.
I'd go a week without doing it, and the amount of hate I got for that. Dude, you didn't do the Paul Stanley. I go watch last week's episode, goddamn.
The thing that made me laugh about that, whenever he would say that, he would put the picture of a Paul with kind of the thinning hair a little bit there.
That's an awful photo.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Ralph, you're my fucking hero, bro. Anyway, go ahead, man. Who's next here? I lost track.
We're at number 7. Did you do your number 7 already, Ralph?
No.
Okay.
No, I think we're on Chris already, right?
I picked Journey of 1,000 Years.
Okay, so we're going to Aaron, I think, right?
Okay.
This is where I'll eliminate a song that I don't know. It's always been kind of confusing to me. Like when I was a kid, like I loved the riff, of Making Love.
Yeah.
But then I remember being a teenager, be like, wow, making love sounds like what old people would say. Wouldn't this be cooler if it was in being a teenager called making out? Because making love always sounded like an old person term to me when I was young, listening to it. Love the song, love everything about it. But then when you get to a certain age, you go, okay, making love. Then you're at the age where you're at she says stop and I say go, go, go. And now it's creepy in an entirely different way.
It's very rapey.
It's like
very rapey.
Yeah, when you get over you get to the certain point where it should be cool, and then it's like it's not cool for another reason.
Yeah.
They should have named the song "Raping You Doggy Style."
It's a little wordy though.
I'm sure you could squeeze that in.
That's got hit single all over it, man.
Raping out.
It's too long.
Well, Alice Cooper had raped and freezing, so
Yeah. Yeah.
although he was the victim in that scenario.
Times were different, man.
Yeah. And musically, it's fucking awesome. And that's why I got to rank it higher on the list. But yeah, as far as I look what's left, now we're getting down to the nitty gritty, now it gets really difficult. And yeah, everything on the list from here on out, I absolutely fucking love. So yeah, let's go from here.
All right, Ralph.
My number 7, there's only 2 songs that I prefer the studio versions over the versions that are on Alive. I prefer Come On and Love Me, and I prefer Rock and Roll All Night. And Rock and Roll All Night doesn't have a guitar solo.
Right.
There's just something about those tambourines, man. And I used to have Rock and Roll All Night on a 45, and I don't know, there's just something so special about that studio version of Rock and Roll All Night that honestly I'm not burnt out on. But I'm not burnt out on the live version because I think the live version is awesome too.
Yeah.
But I love Rock and Roll All Night, especially that studio version. And it's the first one I heard, because I bought double platinum first. And I didn't hear Alive till later. But yeah, when I bought Alive, I was like, shit, all these songs are better than the studio version. But, as time gone by, I think Rock and Roll All Night and Come On and Love Me are better studio-wise. So Rock and Roll All Night would be my number 7.
Awesome. All right. Andy, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, my number 7 is going to be off of Lick It Up, On the Eighth Day. I like that song because it seems like it brings back the celebration of rock and roll.
Yeah.
You know, something that they really did a lot back in the 70s. They kind of got away from that. So it was really good to hear a song like On the Eighth Day celebrating rock and roll in a fun way. So that's my number 7.
I like it.
Cool, man. All right, so my number 7, I'm going to the Elder album, and I'm going with I like that song a lot. I mean, I'm an Elder fan. It's them. It's Bob Ezrin giving them the idea that, a concept album. You know, I just did a great concept album with Pink Floyd, so you guys can have a hit with that too. And flopping miserably. For me, I is like kind of their version of Shout It Out Loud. That's the way I get it with Paul and Gene trading off the vocals. I get that vibe as them kind of trying to recreate that song. And ironically, Destroyer and Elder was produced by Bob Ezrin. So I don't know, Bob Ezrin maybe try to kind of follow the same blueprint a little bit, with Destroyer by, with the Elder. But I don't know. For me, I get that vibe of Shout It Out Loud. But that's gonna be my number 7. So go to number 6, Chris.
Quick.
You are the last person to eliminate I.
Yeah, I like I. I mean, listen, man. I don't know, man. I'm weird too.
To the Kiss historians. Was Bob Ezrin? I mean, was this his first album after Destroyer with Kiss?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he did Revenge as well. So he did 3 studio albums with them.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
He was big when Alice Cooper was really what put him on the map, right? Isn't that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Didn't Bob Ezrin write something on Cycle Circus?
Yeah, he co-wrote the ballad that Peter sings.
Oh,
with Paul.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not good, man.
And if you've ever listened to our show, Aaron has an amazing story about that song. But
that song I would put under You're All I Want. That one would have been the bottom if it ended that album.
Oh, of course.
Then She Kissed Me is the greatest song on earth compared to that.
And a better wedding song, right?
Way better.
I did hear that at a wedding one time, the Kiss version. And then she kissed me. Yeah, I did hear it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But have you ever heard the Peter Criss song off of Psycho Circus?
No, not at a wedding. I haven't heard that at a wedding. So, but then she kissed me. I did hear at a wedding.
I remember that story, right, Aaron? You played it at a wedding.
I did it. That was somebody's wedding dance song because they hired me to be a wedding DJ, but they didn't have none of their own shit. And I was like, "Do you have CDs that you've got songs that you want to, play at this thing?" And they're like, "No." And I was like, "Well, I've got this milk crate full of like rock and metal CDs." And then it's like it became a scramble of, do you have a wedding song? They're like, "No, we haven't thought about this." And then I was like, they're like, "Well, just pick the best thing you got." And that's what it ended up being. And like while they were dancing, I'll never forget. The dude turned and the girl was looking over his shoulder and she was giving me, "Oh, you motherfucker." Like, what the fuck was the look in her eyes when they spun around? She looked at me and I was just like,
you didn't tell me what to play for y'all's wedding song. Jeez.
I drank a lot of beer that night, but I did not stick around to get paid.
Yeah, but that song is just naturally bad when the couple feels like they're being pranked.
Right.
And the DJ had such a great time. He didn't need to get paid.
Yeah.
And what Aaron doesn't know is that song caused them to divorce.
Oh, I'm sure. It did. Like,
They had it annulled the next day.
I'm looking at them going, "Your marriage is doomed now. I'm so sorry."
Oh man, it's fucking great.
She's gonna be throwing drumsticks at his head and everything.
Yeah. A little teardrop on her face. Yeah. The whole deal.
All right, number 6, man.
She'll threaten to quit the marriage. No. My next, Paul Stanley's Ode to Date Rape. Making Love is my number 6.
There you go, man. A bit rapey. Rapey there.
But very communication breakdown in the riff, and then of course the soloing is top notch. So I love it live, except Paul would never say making live. It was just love, love, love. It's like, all right, he get kind of lazy on the vocal.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even he thought like this sounds like something old people do.
Yeah, exactly. He was embarrassed for his lyrics.
See, now I'm at the age where I can make love, and so now I understand. But back when I was young, it was all about the fucking,
It should have been called Fucking Hard.
Yeah, fucking hard.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck 'em.
All right, Aaron, number 6, brother.
All right, number 6 for me. I don't know. I know some of you have eliminated this already. I like this song. To me, this was always one, especially when I was young. And I'm listening to this stuff, not really understanding what it is, being so young. So, like, you got to remember, I'm like 5 years old when I discover Kiss. And it's just because I like to listen to music on headphones and I'm listening to whatever they got. And when they play Kiss, it's like it captures me in a way that even the Sabbath, like now today, if you ask me, like, completely, what's the greatest band of all time? Man, I've always been a Kiss fan, but you just can't fuck with Black Sabbath. They're so good, but like Kiss captured my imagination in a way that even Sabbath couldn't. And this was a song that like I would listen to it when I was young, and it would give me imagination of what it must be like to be in Kiss. And so it's an amazing song, and I love it a lot, but I got to eliminate it. It's Do You Love Me? But that song meant a lot to me when I was young. Like I said, it kind of encapsulated like a young mind to think, what must it be like to be these guys? Well, this song kind of explains it in a way a young mind can understand. And when you get movies in your mind, when you listen to music, that's a pretty magical thing. And this song always gave me movies in my mind about, wow, what it must be like to be Kiss.
Cool, man. Yeah, you know what I loved about that song too? Like towards the end, it was like it seemed like Bob Resman was throwing the kitchen sink into instrumentation. He was putting the chimes in there, and Paul was really like going over the top vocally and stuff, and just like elevating the song. And I don't know where Andy went, but anyway, but yeah, I agree with you. I mean that song was like number 9 for me. But yeah, I remember the ending of Destroyer, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool way to go out, man. Like really, and I agree with you, man. It's kind of what encapsulates like, comic book Kiss for me. That's what I called that era. So, all right. So that's number 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Ralph.
Oh, number 6?
Yeah.
On the 8th Day. That's a song that, man, the very first time I heard Lick It Up, I love that album. I'm not a fan of the title track, but on the 8th Day, I was very shocked by all the comments I saw later on about how shitty that song is. And Lick It Up will be better without that song. That song sucks. I'm like, what? I love On the 8th Day. It's a great anthemic rockin' tune.
Yeah, dude.
Originally called Boys Are Gonna Rock from the, what was it? Warrior? Yeah, Warrior.
Yeah, Warrior.
Yeah, that was Boys Are Gonna Rock, and they changed it. But
that was Vinnie Vincent's band prior to to Kiss. Was it?
Yeah,
It was Vinny and the guys from New England.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
And it was, that version's cool too. But man, this version, that Look It Up version, it's a great anthemic fucking tune. It's total Kiss.
Oh yeah,
it's one of their best anthems. I'd put it up there, with Rock and Roll All Night. And I can't think of an anthem that Kiss did was better than Rock and Roll All Night and On the 8th Day. I think those are the 2 greatest anthems they've done that I'm thinking of. I mean, there's Tomorrow and Tonight. There's I. What else is there? And like every song on Psycho Circus, I know.
I was gonna say, what about We Are One? You like that one too? Right?
Yeah, but that's not an anthem. That's a gay ass song.
It's a beer commercial.
Yeah.
All right, man. So we'll go to your number 6, Andy.
It's an anthem song for the gays.
My number 6 is going to be. I think we're finally going to put this one to bed off of Carnival of Sins, the final sessions. I Walk Alone.
Wow, that one ranked pretty high for you.
Yeah, it stretches pretty long, longer than a usual Kiss song, and the guitar solo is pretty stretched out. And again, it's Bruce Kulick playing a guitar on there. So I didn't know that he did the lead vocals until tonight.
Oh wow!
So that was something that I did not know. But yeah, my number 6 is I Walk Alone. I thought it was completely different from anything else that they ever did.
That's cool.
It is, and the fact that this is like everybody else eliminated this song a long time ago.
Yeah, I know.
You took it out this far, man. That's pretty interesting. I like that.
There's another one I took a little bit too far too. So y'all go ahead.
All right, man. Well, my number 6, I'm going with Ace, man. Save Your Love. I agree with Ralph, dude. I mean, and back then, like, and Dynasty was another one of those albums I didn't get until kind of like towards the tail end of getting like the Kiss discography, at the time. But I've come to really like love that album. Again, I wish I had the production of Eddie Kramer, that album. I think it would have fucking been. You would have put Eddie Kramer producing that. I don't know. Maybe they went with Vinny to appease fucking Peter Criss.
Yeah, and then he wouldn't let him drum on it.
Yeah, look at that. One song, But Save Your Love, man. I love the Ace solo in that, man. The way, I don't know, man. It's just, his solos were always just fucking, real fucking stylish and shit, man. And that's definitely one of them that's up there. So, and he had like, what did he have? Like 3 songs on album? 4? 3?
3.
He had more than Gene on that album, right?
Yeah, I think Gene had what, 1?
2?
No, 2. Charisma and X-Ray Eyes.
That's crazy, man. But that just goes to show, like, how.
Well, he was splitting his time banging Cher and Diana Ross. So
yeah, there you go.
Busy.
Yeah, he was. All right, so that's my number 6, Save Your Love from Dynasty. We're gonna go to number 5, top 5, man. Starting with Chris.
Number 5 for me, War Machine. I've always loved this song. I got into this song from the Animalized Live Uncensored video.
Wow.
Because it was before I had bought Creatures. I rented that video and saw it, and that song stuck out from that performance. And then when I got Creatures shortly after, and that really solidified it, of course, with that drum sound.
Paul wants to hug you because of that.
Yeah. It was yeah, but no, it to this day I love that song. It never gets old live, even as dull and dishwater dull the End of the Road tour show was for us. That song still stood out as really good.
Cool, man. All right, Aaron.
All right, top 5. Here we go. We're getting fucking serious now. I don't know how I've heard it brought up a couple of times already. I don't know how many are still on the board with this one, but I mean, the first time I heard Lick It Up, this was my favorite song. I think honestly, man, it may not be my most favorite song now off that album, but it's got to be top 3. And I think Andy said it best. It's just such an anthemic song, in an era where they hadn't done nothing like that in a while. This song really kind of captures the spirit of like a Rock and Roll All Night or a Shout It Out Loud, or even in a weird way, kind of I too, where it's like, you can do what you want to do if you believe in yourself kind of song. If you believe in rock and roll, you believe in the power, it's inside of you, you can do anything you want. I always drew power off songs like this, that's why I'm always so grateful that I grew up the way I did, where I discovered Kiss at such a young age that by the time I'm a teenager, I'm starting to kind of understand the message a little bit in some of it, understand some of it's goofy, like Making Love, and some of it's like self-grandiose, like Do You Love Me? But then there's songs like On the Eighth Day where you feel like it's empowering, it's like, I'm special because I'm a Kiss fan. Like my friends don't get it, but I fucking get it. And then to take it one step further and carry that attitude with you of, stand up for what you believe in and you can do anything you want to do if you have the heart and the belief in it, you know, and that's a perfect song for that. So yeah, it's top 5 for me when it comes to this list on the 8th day. Awesome. I love it.
All right, man. Cool.
All right, my number 5, even though I do not agree with the sentiment, because I don't like Paul Stanley. I think he is, well, I don't love Paul Stanley. I like Paul Stanley. I don't love him. I think he's the most overrated frontman ever with his 501 jeans. But I gotta say,
a little bit.
Button fly.
Yeah. But I gotta say, it went all the way to my top 5. What's wrong with Paul that he's going to the doctor? He's always going to the doctor. Something wrong with him.
Paul Stanley goes to a doctor a lot.
Yeah.
Do You Love Me? All the way at my number 5. I absolutely love that. I hated what Paul. Yeah.
Oh, the Animalized live video. God.
Legendary.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, all the way to my number 5. And, you know, I hated what Bob Ezrin did on Flamin' Youth because I think Flamin' Youth is a really cool song, but then he adds those circus noises.
Yeah, what this song needs is a calliope.
Yeah. But this song, I love it. I love the bells at the end.
Yeah, I like that.
I just think it's a great song, and I think it's so catchy. It was on my double platinum album, and I just loved it. I thought it had a lot of attitude with, you know, you like my 7-inch leather. I just love the vibe of that song. I just thought it was fucking. I just think that song's fucking amazing.
Yeah, so you can see it. You know, you don't just hear it; you see it.
Yeah, and I actually prefer the live version when I saw them do the reunion.
Yeah, with the additional part. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was amazing what they did to that song.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, all the way to my number 5, man. Do You Love Me? I absolutely love that song.
Hey, Ralph, real quick, man. Like on the reunion tour, you saw 3 out of the 4 shows at the Garden, you said, right?
And I saw the Miami show. It came down to Miami. I went to that as well.
Yeah, I was at 2 of the Garden shows. And yeah, I was at that last. You said the last show was the one that didn't have where Beth got cut.
Yeah, the tape for Beth broke on the last show.
Oh man.
I remember Paul was saying something like, I think what he said was like something like I don't know, Peter's voice or something went out, or he wasn't, you know, I don't know what happened, man. But like, but I think it was like time ran out, like the union, because you know you got to be you got to be done by and I think they were going to go over time, so they cut that song out. And I remember my friend, he's a big Kiss fan now, but he wasn't at that show, and he was at like maybe 1 or 2 of the other ones. And I told him like that's what happened. He's like, "Oh well, you lucked out then," because he's not a Beth fan. So anyway, that's your final. We'll go
Chris Czynszak saw Kiss at a show where they did not play Rock and Roll All Night.
That's right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was the Gibson Guitars 100th anniversary show in 94, I think. And yeah, they ended the show with Heaven's on Fire. Didn't play Rock and Roll All Night.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. That's funny.
Nobody missed it either.
That's an oddity. Well, I mean, I wouldn't miss it either, but you know. But that's fun. Yeah, that's an oddity, man.
So as we're in Nashville.
They what?
Oh, Nashville. It wasn't in Memphis because I know Memphis had a Gibson.
Oh yeah, they had a Gibson warehouse.
Okay.
The show was here in Nashville, right on a floating stage on the river, on like a bar. Really? They played on a barge. It was Kiss, Fleetwood Mac, which was really just John and Mick, and then a bunch of other people. Pat Travers played it, Brother Kane, and Mother Station. That was the lineup.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this list here, and I only see 2 songs on the entire thing that nobody's voted for yet. 2 Kiss songs that are still on the island.
Yeah, I know those 2 songs you're talking about, and those are my top 2.
Yeah, they're about to roll off slowly. I got some that have already been eliminated, and I've got 2 that have not been touched at all yet.
Yeah, I got my next 4. Nobody Have they? Oh yeah. Well, no. My 4 and 3 has been picked already, but not my 1 and 2.
Yeah.
All right, Andy, number 5, brother.
Yeah, as I said that I'm the newest Kiss fan from among all of y'all. So when we were going through this, and Al already said Boomerang at number 19 or 18, I was like, wow, do people
20.
not like that song? Was it 20? Was it really?
Yeah, it's 20. It's the first one.
Well, my number 5 is Boomerang.
Wow.
Number 5.
Hey, it's my number. It's my number 8. It went up there on mine too.
I did not think somebody would love that song more than Ralph on this panel.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what? I totally forgot that Boomerang was even out there.
Yeah, man. Number 5, huh?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, that guitar work for me. Just did it for me.
No, it's a
really did a great job.
He's a Bruce Kulick fan, dude. I mean, you can't,
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah, you really dig Bruce
Yeah,
from what
really
I'm
do.
gathering.
Nah, he's a fan of good songs.
There you go, man. All right, well, what? My number 5, I'm going to Dress to Kill. I'm going Rock and Roll All Night. I'm not, you can easily, I mean, the casual fan might put it at number 1 or whatever. I mean, we're all hardcores here. I don't know. Maybe somebody might have it on number 1. Who knows?
Andy?
Maybe. I don't know, man. But for me, number 5, I'm not penalizing it because it's been overplayed. It's still a fucking, great song. I mean, people have come in to Kiss with this song. So if that happens, then, that's more power to you. It's a gateway. There you go, man. But it's an anthem, dude. And, radio fucking thinks it's the only Kiss song, which is fucking bullshit. But, yeah, whatever, man. But it's my number 5. And I love the studio version like Ralph says too, man. It's quick, punchy, to the point. It doesn't have a guitar solo, but, I don't know. It doesn't really need one, to be honest with you. So that's my number 5. So we're going number 4, man. Chris.
Well, there must be an echo because number 4 for me is Rock and Roll All Night. So you said everything I could think of. I like the original version really a lot too, and I just you have to give it its respect. I mean, it's one of the greatest rock and roll anthems ever written. You got to put it up there. So, and it's so recognizable, and they've gotten a hell of a lot of mileage out of it. So yeah, I have to give it its respect. It's number 4 for me.
Cool.
All right, number 4 for me. I don't know if it's somebody. It's still on the board for somebody. I think. I don't think I'm the last one. But I'm gonna go with War Machine because it's awesome. I love it. It's heavy Kiss, like Ralph said. When your friends are all into Metallica and Megadeth and Anthrax, and they're laughing at you for being a Kiss fan, you play them that, and they go, "Well, that's pretty cool, I guess." Don't forget about Forever and Beth. I know. Fuck. Yeah, War Machine was one of those songs that saved my ass over the years with the cool kids, that would act like Kiss was lame, and they would, they're seeing the videos on TV, on MTV and stuff, and Kiss don't look very cool. But then every once in a while a song will come around like War Machine, or later on Unholy, especially. I love to throw Unholy back into my friends' faces, be like, "Listen to this, motherfuckers," and they'd be like, "Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I guess Kiss can do it once in a while." And once in a while, for the metal, they can do it. War Machine's a song like that. It's not fast, it's not speed metal, but it's heavy, especially by Kiss standards. You can't not, when that song's playing, when you're in the car or whatever, it's heavy. I love it. Yeah, top 5. That's number 4 for me.
All right, cool. Ralph, brother.
My number 4, Making Love. I love it. I love Ace Frehley's solo on that song. So badass, so ripping.
Yeah.
And I just always loved that song. I think that song was on Double Platinum too. I think.
Oh yeah, totally was.
Yeah. It's like, in retrospect, looking back at Double Platinum, it's like the greatest compilation Kiss album. But at the time when I first got that album, I loved everything off it. But as time goes by, I freaking hate Rock Bottom and She. I hate that version on that album. Pisses me off.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, that is my number 4, man. Making Love. It ends my favorite Kiss album. My favorite Kiss studio album. Making Love. Number 4. Love it. There you go.
Right on.
All right, Andy.
Yeah, this is going to be the first time I think this song has been mentioned. My number 4 off of Hotter Than Hell, Strange Ways, is my number 4.
That is the first time it's mentioned.
Oh, that's one of the two. And now
it's on my list, man.
All right, man. Andy, any thoughts on that one? Or
No, just go ahead.
yeah. All right, man. Well, my number 4, I'm with Ralph here, bro. Making Love off of Rock and Roll Over, man. Fucking Mr. You listen to lyrics and a little rapey there, Paul, but still a great riff, man. Still a great song. Love it, man. And Rock and Roll Over from the second phase of. See, I have like these. I'll talk about it a little more, I guess. But in the first 3 albums, I always consider Kiss the dark, heavy, dangerous Kiss. Starting with Destroyer, they become comic book Kiss for me. You know what I mean? With the next 3 albums, 4 albums, or whatever, 3. But I'll elaborate that more on there. But Making Love, my favorite studio album of the second phase, the comic book Kiss, Rock and Roll Over, man. That's my number 4. So now we're gonna go number 3, man. Chris.
Like Andy said, mine is going to be Strange Ways for my number 3. Just love everything about this song. I mean, it's so dark, and I think the murky production helps certain songs, and I think this is one of them. I think I love the fact that it's got that really gritty sound to it.
Yeah.
And it's also like, it was Ace's writing, and their writing in those early, first 3 records is just so primal and almost stream of consciousness, because they would do stuff outside of typical songwriting arrangements. And this song is definitely one of those. And who would have come up with that chorus with the background vocals go strange, what there now? It's just such a, and then to have Peter sing it, which is another curveball, but it works so well with his voice. So yeah, I'd love to hear the drum solo, but yeah, I think and Ace's solo is really bizarre, but it works. And I think he said something like he wired up a speaker inside a cardboard box in the studio to record that solo.
Wow.
So that's why it gets that sound, but just love everything about that song.
Yeah, same here. That's my number 3, Strange Ways. It's such a good song. It's I gotta think sludge metal before there was such a thing, because it's like you said, the production on some of the poppier songs doesn't work so hot on that album, but for a song like Strange Ways, it totally does, because that song, it's it's black tar and it's dripping, when you listen to it, it's like your headphones are going to melt. The only thing I wish was that back then Ace Frehley would have had the balls to sing his own songs, because I think that's as awesome of a job as Peter Criss does on it. You can tell, when you listen to it, this is an Ace Frehley song. And even all these years later, I listen to it and I think Ace should be singing this. This would be one of the most iconic, heavy rock songs of all time if Ace would have just been singing his own song. It wasn't Peter Criss's style to do stuff like that. It's total Ace. I wish he would have sung it. It would probably be number 1 on my list if Ace would have done the vocals on it.
Interesting.
Cool, man. All right, Rob.
Number 3, War Machine. What a killer ending to a killer album. Yeah. Creatures is awesome, but lately, for the past, couple months, I'm like, you know what? I like Lick It Up more than Creatures. I think it's a horror album. I never thought that before. But yeah, I love Lick It Up, but Creatures is phenomenal. It's when 1980 rolled around, I saw the video for Shandy, and I was horrified. I was like, "Fuck Kiss." And then I heard, Van Halen, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden. That was 1980, and I never heard The Elder, didn't even care. I saw World Without Heroes, that was enough. Then my friend came over to my house in 82 with a cassette of Creatures. I was like, don't put that on. Fuck Kiss. And come on, dude, just hear the first song. I was like, all right. And he played me Creatures of the Night. I was like, dude, keep that tape rolling. That shit's awesome. Then I ran out and this album was new when I ran out and bought it for $3.99. They already slashed the price of a new album. I bought it in 82. I don't know what month it came out in 82, but I know I bought it the year it came out, and it was only $3.99.
It was a cutout already, huh?
It had a little cut on the side. Yeah, it had a little cut.
Shipped as a cutout.
Thanks a lot, Mercury. I know you hate us.
Well, taking them to court and calling them Nazis probably didn't help their case much. So you're not going to get a lot of promo backing when you do that to your record company.
We're going to ship it out, but after 2 days, you cut the price.
All right, Andy, number 3, brother.
My number 3, it's going to be off of Dynasty, which is "Save Your Love," and that song that was sung by Ace, correct?
Oh yeah,
It sounds like Ace, and when you hear Ace's solo albums, he's got a lot of songs that follow this template. Like, of course, that cover of "Do Ya" by that cover that he did that belongs to
Yellow,
like orchestra. But he really did kind of make it his own. He really did, because I like his version more than Electric Light Orchestra's version. So that's what "Save Your Love" reminds me of, are those great tracks that Ace did. So that's my number 3 off of Dynasty.
Nice.
Well, my number 3, I'm echoing Ralph again, man. I'm riding his coattails here. War Machine.
Hey, that was Ian's place, wasn't it?
Yeah. on this show, Ian's not here, so I'm riding his coattails.
Ian will forever be on my show.
There ain't a whole lot of room left on these coattails.
That Brian Adams fella, man, he can write a heavy metal song. You know what I mean?
That is such a weird fact, isn't it?
Isn't it?
He's been writing them since '69.
Yeah, War Machine, dude. I mean, Creatures, love Creatures, man. I always have, and it's a great heavy album. I mean, honestly, dude, like one of the best drum sounds on an album of all time, man. For me, I mean, Eric is just fucking thunderous on this album, and Michael James Jackson, man. I mean, nobody fucking brings him up as a producer, but damn, man, he did this one and Lick It Up, man. I mean, they're both phenomenal sounding fucking albums.
I wish he could have stayed on and produced all their 80s stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
It would have been better.
Yeah.
They asked Gene Simmons, why isn't the drum sound on Creatures on Lick It Up? And his answer was, because Lick It Up didn't sell. I'm sorry, because Creatures didn't sell. That's why they didn't put the drum sound on Lick It Up.
Oh,
okay.
The drum sound on Lick It Up is still pretty damn good, though, man.
It's great. It's just not Bonham bombastic.
Yeah.
It was toned down some.
The drums are just as good, but they're just not as booming.
I know, dude, man. You play that on the fucking. I mean, I had a Cavalier, with a fucking Alpine system, 2 12-inch subwoofers, and whenever I play like that album on there, man, I had to turn the bass down a little bit, man, because it was just so thunderous. I mean, you can hear me coming down like blocks away. If I played the opening of like I Love It Loud, the drum opening, dude, forget it, man. So.
Here comes that guy always bumping the Kiss.
All right, so War Machine's my number 3. We're gonna go number 2 now, man. Top 2, Chris.
Number 2 for me, "Save Your Love" from Dynasty. Almost made number 1. There's only one song that could replace it. But no, Ace was just on fire during this time, and just his songwriting was as good as it could get, and the solo is just a whole beginning, middle, and end story on its own, and it might be my favorite Ace Frehley solo. And I just love the attitude of it, the vibe of it. a lot there. I know some people that complain about the repetitiveness of the background. Save your love, save it. I like that though. I think that's kind of almost like a nod back to some of the '60s songs. You know, it's got a little bit of like not Motown, but like '60s rock.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing song, and it could have been number one, but it's number two for me.
All right, cool, man.
Wow, I can't say it much better than that. That's why I love having Chris Czynszak as my co-host, because he makes it easy on me. 100% everything that Chris just said. Yeah, Save Your Love. It's the only Ace Frehley tune on the whole list, if you don't count Strange Ways, which he should have sung that. But man, this song is killer. And people always down Dynasty so much, and say, oh, that's the disco album. But people don't know shit. If you listen to that, yes, you got the songs Magic Touch and I Was Made for Loving You. That's kind of got that kind of disco thing going to it, but they're still rock songs. But the rest of the album, especially those 3 Ace Frehley tunes, man, are so damn good. Sometimes I think Dynasty might be my favorite Kiss album. And then I go, no, that can't be right. And then I think about it and I go, tune for tune, man. You really got to give it up to Dynasty. And Save Your Love has always been probably my favorite song on the album. It's so good, and it's Ace. Man, if he could have only had the confidence he had by Dynasty at the first album, how many better Kiss songs would we have had over the years? If Ace could have been doing this from the very beginning, man, it's because you get to nowadays where everybody, Paul and Gene want to say, Ace and Peter, bunch of drug addicts, couldn't hang today, couldn't do it today. But when Chris and I just recently did the episode that we did about the end of Kiss, I said it then and I'll say it now. Ace Frehley is the heart and the soul of that band. He is the musician. He's the artist. He don't give a damn about marketing or branding or none of the business bullshit. He's the guy that believes in rock and roll. He's the guy that says, this elder shit we're doing is lame. We shouldn't be doing this. He's the guy that says, when you're doing the unmasked and, it's really poppy, like, I don't know about this. They go, we'll give you 3 songs. You got it, man. You got it, Curly. I'm in. Let's do it. And he's at his peak, in Kiss at Dynasty. And this song is so good. God bless Ace Frehley. And thank Ace Frehley for still putting out new music today. That's something nobody else we are talking about here today can tell you. They're still putting out new music to this day, except maybe Bruce Kulick. Bring us something new, we'll buy it. We're Kiss fans. We'll buy anything. We'll buy it all.
For real.
Yeah. Come on, Bruce. Thank you, Ace. Yeah.
Turn on the juice, Bruce.
And I'm proud of the rest of us in this group here that have held out Ace Frehley to the top of this list, because this song deserves to be there. And kudos to all of us. We're awesome.
Well, I did put it definitely in my top 10, but I'll put another Ace song in my number 2, and that is Strange Ways. That song just owns. I don't know. It's a tough one to pick. Which one do I like more? Which is my favorite song off Hotter Than Hell? Strange Ways or Parasite? It's so difficult to pick one or the other, but I love Peter's screams on it. I love the doominess. And again, I'm going to say something extremely Kiss nerdish. I've said this before. If you get the song Coming Home from Hotter Than Hell and put it on Dress to Kill with that production, and you take out She and put it on Hotter Than Hell,
that makes more sense.
It makes a lot more sense, because She is grimy. Coming Home is kind of fluffy. You know what I mean? So, but I love the production of Hotter Than Hell. Sounds like they recorded in a tunnel. A lot of people complain about it. I think it adds charm. Yeah. It adds charm to the album, and songs like Strange Ways benefits, from that production more than any song off that album, but especially that one. I wouldn't want Strange Ways to be, fixed up or polished up. Leave it just like it is. All the way at my number 2 in Strange Ways.
Nice.
Awesome, man.
Nice.
Beautiful, man. Andy, number 2, brother.
I wanted to add when Aaron was talking about a dynasty. I came into Kiss late. I know that I keep saying that. And I kept reading over and over about how Dynasty was the disco album over and over. And when I finally got my copy of Dynasty and I put it on, it was probably like a year and a half ago when I finally got it. I was like, what are these people talking about? This isn't disco at all. It was a good rock album. And it was another step that they took forward. So that's what I want to say about Dynasty. Now, my number 2 is going to be off of Dress to Kill, Rock and Roll All Night. I really like the original version and the live version almost exactly the same, with the album version being a lot very, very great, because when you think about Cheap Trick and when they did when they did I Want You to Want Me on Budokan, live, that was a great version. But then when you hear it off of in color, you're like, that doesn't have the same kind of vibe. Well, this did have the same kind of vibe, even though it was not as bombastic as the version on a live. But my number 2 is going to be Rock and Roll All Night. My number 2.
All right.
Man, I love Andy's perspective. It's so cool to see it from such a weird place that's so different than what I imagine as being a Kiss fan. Yeah, it's really cool, man. Really cool.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about, when people come in on different times, man.
Yeah.
It is.
And that's what I love, and I always express it on my videos. Leave your comments below. Even if you disagree with me, I love to hear, respectful, of course.
Yeah, but like a different point of view. Yeah.
Right. Totally.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
So my number 2, man, I'm going to echo Ralph here, bro. Strange Ways.
Toomey.
Huh?
Josh Toomey calling. That's the only way we get to interrupt the podcast or the recording is if it's Josh Toomey. We all agreed to that before the show.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, so Strange Ways is my number 2. My favorite Kiss studio album is Hotter Than Hell. Production and all, dude. I mean, like Chris said earlier, man, it gives it its charm. The murky production. What I heard about the production, because I think that was still produced by Kerner and Wise, right? Yeah. So I heard something like when they recorded the album, somehow some polarity was reversed or some shit during the recording process. That's why the album sounds like that. And I don't and think because it was recorded that way, it can never be fixable anyway. Even if you try to go in and the multi-tracks and try to remix it, I don't think maybe with technology now, I don't know. But this was years ago, the interview. But I mean, for me, I would just rather have the album stay as it is, because that's what gives it its charm. Hotter Than Hell is my favorite, And I was mentioning before, to me, the first 3 Kiss albums are when Kiss are dark, dangerous, and hungry. And Ralph always posts up the 1975 San Francisco live show, the black and white one. That is my favorite fucking live video of theirs as well, man. That, to me, the black and white is somebody who, the other day on one thing, I like the colorized version. Not me, man.
No.
Black and white version shows Kiss dangerous and dark and in black and white, dude. And it just, those first 3 albums encapsulates that era of Kiss for me. I have a friend of mine. We played in the band together. He's got 10 years on me. He's 10 years old. He's in his 60s. So, and he was a Kiss fan right off of the first album. He got the first album. He was there in real time, as the albums came out. And he said, man, fucking parents were scared of that band, dude. They were fucking, feared. They were feared, man, back then. So that's the dark, dark, dangerous Kiss. When they get to Destroyer, to me, they turn into comic book Kiss for me. Still great. Love those next 3 albums, But for me, the first 3 albums when they were hungry, that's my favorite era of Kiss. So And this is my favorite album of theirs, Hotter Than Hell. Strange Way is going to be my number 2. And now we're down in the nitty gritty, man. Number 1, baby.
I predicted it.
And you predicted it. We might as well just fucking all say that. But we're gonna go with Chris. Yeah, Aaron got this one, bro.
Yeah, Aaron predicted it. Yeah, it's a clean sweep. And I had a feeling it would be too on that. But yeah, obviously Black Diamond, and I've said this on our show. I just think the song represents everything that was great and magical about especially the original Kiss. So you've got a great little melodic intro. You've got Paul, doing the little melodic intro with his vocal, and then it kicks in, and you've got Peter Criss taking the lead. You've got probably the best chord progression in the band's history, in my opinion, especially throughout the song, because it has so many twists and turns.
Yeah.
And, Peter's voice is perfect for it. The subject matter, about a prostitute and the dirty streets of New York. And I just love everything about it. And then it just has that bombastic, culmination. Now, of course, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say anything bad about it, but other than maybe the way the recorded part ends, but that'd be the only thing. But no, I think it could be qualified as the best Kiss song ever, in my opinion.
I think it is. I think it is the best Kiss song. Like if somebody came to me, no pretenses whatsoever, and said, "I heard you like Kiss, play me a Kiss song," I would play Black Diamond. If it came down to me, like I want to win somebody over to be a Kiss fan, that's the song I'm going to play them. If I know nothing about them at all, because I'm going to base it on the fact that this song is the strongest thing they ever did. It's them at the height of their powers. Like you said, it's the beginning. And that first album is so perfect. And then, all right, with the exception of like maybe the love theme from Kiss. But other than that, that first album is just god awful amazing. And to end it with that is perfect. There's no better song to end a better album than Black Diamond. No doubt about it. The greatest Kiss song.
Awesome, man. Ralph, your perspective on it.
Yeah, it's the best Kiss song from the 70s, without a doubt. The best Kiss song from the original lineup. No doubt. For many years, Hotter Than Hell was my favorite of the first 3 Kiss albums. Then it was Dressed to Kill. And now, like a month ago, I realized it's really the first album. The first album is pretty much the greatest hits. Yeah. And yes, I can do without Love Theme from Kiss. I wish they would have used Acrobat.
Oh, yeah. They cut out the best part of the song.
Yeah. The Love Theme from Kiss, sounds really good buried in between Acrobat. It sounds fine then. But if you just isolate that part, it's weak, man. It needs that.
Although they use that part for Detroit Rock City.
Yeah, well, kind of. I know they said it. And
Gene and Paul argue about it.
Yeah, it does sound like Detroit Rock City, but it has a little. It's kind of like what Vanilla Ice said about Ice Ice Baby. Ding, 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 ding. It had that little ding.
It's completely different.
It's different than Queen.
It's not the same.
Yeah, it's totally not the same.
I did not think Vanilla Ice was going to come out tonight. That's interesting.
Especially this high in the list.
Yeah.
And we're talking about number 1, Vanilla Ice.
So I guess we're all in agreement, right?
Yeah. Andy, your perspective on the song.
And look at Andy. Look at Andy here, new Kiss fan, and he even knows Black Diamond's.
Yeah, he came in 2015.
He can't even deny it. Even a newbie cannot deny Black Diamond.
You can't. My number 1 Kiss, Black Diamond. The way their debut album ends, I just love the way it ends with a boom. It just sounds so cool. And is there a track somewhere where that's cut off?
Yeah, I think they cut off on double platinum, right?
Double platinum doesn't have that drowning, and
they faded it out pretty quickly.
Yeah,
but man, I really love that droning that droning ending. Just boom.
It's very 70s to end it that way.
Yeah, it kind of reminds you like of a sci-fi movie from the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Something that they will put in while they have this weird shit going on the screen.
Yeah. It's music you can see in your mind. I love Kiss.
So
Fucking Kiss.
I mean, Black Diamond had it all for me, and that song might be one of the reasons why I said, all right, well, what else does Kiss have to offer then? So Black Diamond is number one for me.
I can't say it better than all you guys, man. You guys said it all, really. I mean, for me, and I do love the studio version. I love the way the tape slows down each time. It gives it like, I don't know, it gives it an ominous ending to it. It's almost like Sabbath in a way. The way it ends. And I will say this, man. Like one time, Eddie Trunk, man, he had a top 20 where you could call in a show. And it was top 20 Kiss songs overall Kiss songs, whatever your top 20 was. And I called in the show, and my number one was Black Diamond. So overall, it is my favorite Kiss song. It's my number one. If we were to put a list together of your favorite Kiss songs, no matter what, that would have been my number one as well. But the fact that it's the last song on the first album where it all began, I mean, that's my favorite era of Kiss, and Black Diamond ends it, and it's my number one top Kiss song. So, and like Aaron said, man, like if I was gonna introduce somebody to Kiss, man, that would be the one song I'd give them as well. So that's number one. So, dude, this has been awesome. Andy, you got any final thoughts? I mean, let's go around. First of all, let me say I just became co-host of this. Andy asked me to be his co-host permanently, so I'm honored. I'm humbled that Andy asked me, and I got ideas for the show, and my first one, man, I was like, let's fucking do a Kiss one, and I'm gonna go right for the fucking jugular, and I'm gonna get Decibel Geek and fucking Ralph out here, and I'm humbled that you guys said yes, man. I love you guys, man. I really, really appreciate you guys coming on, because I'm nobody in this world, bro, and you guys have really built up your shows to where people, so many listeners, love you guys. So, I mean, thank you so much, man. You guys, I mean, I appreciate it so much. And I'm sure Andy, I echoed his sentiment, for Andy as well, So go ahead, Andy, if you want to talk.
When we were talking about this, I was asking Al, what guests are you going to have on? Because this is going to be your show. And when he told me you three, I was like, okay, really? Like for real? This is how we're gonna start off with the bang with for Black Spinner Music.
It's only downhill from here, man.
Be honest, guys. 3 sides turned you down, and you had to settle for us.
I was like, wow, this is awesome, because I think it was after we had figured out what the title, what the show was going to be, because we wanted to touch on a celebration of Kiss ending it all, and then to have such great Kiss fans along with us, and not just great Kiss fans, but people, but you three that have podcasts that have huge followings, because y'all know y'all stuff, y'all believe in what y'all say, and y'all are very entertaining in what all three of y'all do. So thanks for being on our show. We really do appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Any opportunity to shoot the breeze with Kiss fans, I'm in. You can call me in. But listen, I gotta go. If you guys want to keep going, you go ahead. But
we're gonna end it off on a good note, man. I mean, everybody said what they needed to say. Chris, man, you got any last words?
Oh, just thanks for having us, man. It was a blast, and very happy to be part of this.
And Ralph?
Drink water.
Stay hydrated. And on that note, man, thank you guys so much. We'll catch you next time, man.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Smack 'em a god.
Good night, guys.
All right, guys. Have a good one.